All right, guys, let's get started. This tale begins like so many before it and many yet to come, with an unlikely alliance of adventurers set upon a quest. Adventurers with varying motivations, goals, unique backstories, and unspoken secrets. But there's something a little bit different about these adventures because, as you now know, these adventurers are giants. Well, most of them are giants. Some of them are just giant. This rugged trail that they walk upon is ancient, a scar that's cut across the jagged peaks of a vast mountain range, a region of Greyhawk that would later be named Crystalmist by the civilized folk living in the lowlands to the east. Here in the high places, under a cold iron gray sky, where the wind carries voices of stone and storm and towering peaks scrape the heavens, here our fellowship marches south. Now, they've only just met within the last couple of days, bound not by trust or treaty, but by shared purpose, one that they may not yet fully understand. Our adventurers have been sent by their various tribes to answer a call to conclave, a mysterious gathering of giant kin, unlike any seen in an age. What awaits them is unclear, but one thing can be certain: giants do not gather without purpose. Their kind has shaped the world in ways that lowlanders will never know or understand. Their history is buried beneath layers of earth and fear. Anam, the creator of worlds whose dreams form the substance of reality, the prime power upon whose back the deities of all other races have been created. These stories have been lost to but only a few. Nevertheless, the civilized folk of the lowlands speak of giants in terms of menace and ruin, their stories woven with fire, blood, and calamity. Perhaps that is all the world will ever see them as. Perhaps this is the world, this is all the world will ever know them to be or allow them to be. Somewhere far below the lowlands stretch, unseen beyond the mist. Down there, the small folk whisper of stories of monstrous things that stalk the peaks, brutes and terrors, creatures fit only for the sword. But we're only getting started, and this story has yet to be written. Now, my friends, I kind of have the cinematic sort of picture in my mind of the five of you cresting a ridgeline one by one, coming over the ridgeline, stopping for a moment as the dramatic kind of camera zooms in on you to kind of give you that moment to introduce your character. I would like you to do a couple things for me. I'm going to call on each of you to do this. Tell us a little bit about what you look like. If there's anything that stands out about your PC, your giant, their appearance, behavior, habits, quirks, whatever it might be. And then why you believe that perhaps you've been selected or chosen to attend the conclave, if you have any sort of concept of what that means for your character. And I think we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and start with Chonk.
Oh, yeah. So as Chunk crests the hill, he looks pretty nervous, to be honest. He's a 5'5" kobold, which is the tallest kobold you've ever seen. He's got a nice long tail, little kobold horns. He's wearing what looks like mismatched armor pieces of different colors. As you can imagine, for such a very tall kobold, it's probably hard to find kobold gear, so he just picks up what he can find. Around, he's carrying a wicked-looking spear. And he's got around his neck in a crude leather rope around his neck, a little gemstone, but it looks like maybe gemstone isn't the right word. It looks like if you took a glass and shattered it across the ground and then picked up a shard of it, it looks maybe like that. That he wears around his neck, and he calls it his shiny, and he often looks down and says something to it in a whispered type tone. Chunk is here. He actually has no reason to go to the conclave. He was out exploring on his own, and he's looking for the greatest gem, the greatest shiny ever created. The gem of ooh. which he hopes to find, so that he can take that gem and lead his fellow kobolds into a great time that he refers to the shiniest of times for kobold kind. He decided to hook up with these giants because it seems like a pretty good idea and that he'd be, pretty safe from scary things.
I love it. I love it. Chonk, welcome to the party. Let's go next. As Chonk steps across and down the other side of the ridgeline, we see a hill giant appear. Bunker, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Dave, it's pronounced Bunker.
Bunker. We'll fix that in post. Yes. Bunker, tell us a little bit about yourself.
That's the Canadian version.
Yeah. Stomping his way up over the crest, Bunker the hill giant stops and just stares around as he's wont to do whenever he sees something shiny or furry or moving or fixed in place. He's easily distracted. He nearly steps on the kobold, but by fate he misses. He's munching on a cow leg and just kind of looking around. He is, like I said in the beginning, he's about 14 feet tall when he slouches, which is typical. When he stands up, he's closer to 15. As a hill giant, he of course smells horrible. He is, as he stops and pauses, you see kind of like the tail of his shirt kind of flap, and there's a horrible farting sound and a smile of relief upon his face. He's wearing some patchwork chainmail, carrying a giant bloodstained club. He has one thing that kind of sticks out is that his loincloth looks much nicer than the rest of his kind of tattered clothing. And it's really hard to get a fixated look, it's really fix on it, because it's actually, and I want to look at Scott's reaction, it's actually a cloak of displacement. But it's so small on him, it's actually just a loincloth of displacement. So above the table, anyone trying to kick him in the nuts is at disadvantage. Other than that, he's got a black eye that's healing because when his tribe heard about the conclave, they were all in a big fist fight to see who got to go because they heard there's a lot of snacks. And he won. And so he's now on the road, and I don't know where these other guys came from, but they're all going the same direction. So Bunker's just plodding along.
I love it. And to be fair, I mean, this is a human-sized cloak, so it's probably like stitched into a bigger, giant-sized loincloth, but just positioned ever so perfectly.
Yep. His brother kept always Rochambeauing him. He just got tired of it. So
one of these things where you like, look at this, and then. All right. Well, as the stank of our hill giant wafts past, we'll go next to our frost giant, Bull.
I think as Bull steps up over the hill, the camera hits like her on the chest and it has to pan up. She is crouched over about 18 feet. As she stands up to her full height and stretches and cracks her old spinal bones, she's probably 20 feet tall. She's got light blue skin, curly white hair, like in kind of like tight curls. The wind kind of like blows them in waves and they go across. She has chainmail on, and underneath the chainmail is a bloody apron. You'll also see that she is using her meat tenderizer as occasionally like a prop. Like she'll maybe like rest, get down on her knees, and then push herself up again with the tenderizer, flip it over her shoulder. The one thing that is unusual is she is covered with tattoos, and none of it is drawing, none of it is art. It's all words, it's all recipes. And on the side of her arm, you'll see something that says toe pancakes and a list of things and normal ingredients. But at the very bottom, you'll see crossed out Furbolg. You'll see Ogre crossed out. You'll see troll crossed out. She knows that she is in search of the correct toe to make the perfect toe pancakes. There are no Ettins written on her crossed out arm. There are no kobolds written on her crossed out arm.
Oh.
She has a searching quality, a distant stare. She's often witnessed moving some loose teeth around in her mouth, thinking about the flavor of feet. Toes, to be specific. Wondering what the right one is to make this a complete pancake.
Continue.
Nope, done.
Okay. Thankfully. All right, Shell. Oh, amazing. All right, let's go next to our fire giant.
All right. I am playing Otis. Otis of Clan Redding. He's, as I said, he's 150 years old. He is 11 feet and 7,000 pounds. And I guess, he is definitely different than these other people kind of cresting the hill. So that as he comes up, he's in full plate mail, and it is like as bright as the sun. So the reality is, like, when he comes up, it is like almost blaringly gleaming in your face, so that you are totally, it's almost like you take a hit point of damage simply just looking at him. He's got this massive greatsword that's kind of strapped across his back, and if you look at him, he is just like a physical specimen, ripped, 0% body fat, 1% body. Arms are just like completely massive to be able to kind of rip down anything that's in front of him. And then you look at his face, and in the middle of his face, kind of going across the right side of his face, he's got this massive scar that's just it's clear that he was in some fight somewhere, and it just healed poorly. So it's this ugly head on top of this just massive specimen of a giant. His kind of situation is that he grew up in the hell furnaces. He's a direct descendant from King Snur, so he is like in royalty is basically his lineage. And most fire giants are evil. Their whole culture is evil. Everything is bad. And for him, he isn't. And so he's actually a neutrally aligned giant, which is different. And, part of their thought process of why giants aren't necessarily the rulers of the Flanaess or Earth is that at some level, the humanoids and whatnot took the giants down. And it's the humanoids' fault that the giants are now kind of relegated to other areas of Earth. And he doesn't feel that way. He feels like it's the giants' own fault that they fell into the place where they are. And so he's put more perspective on it. And I think part of that is cast him as a little bit of an outcast in his clan. And part of that, though, that he's been able to align with the humans because he actually feels some element of association with them, because he doesn't blame them for the position that the giants are in. So he's been able to have some relationship with the humans, and so he's on the trail. He's been sent out because there's been, at least down in his area, some small parties of wizards and elves and dwarfs that have seemed to come in and disrupt the giant way and try to adventure down in their areas. And the fire giants are tired of having these pesky humanoids down there. And so because he had most kind of close relationships with these people, they figured they could send him away. And probably also that just because he thinks he's probably better than the rest of them because he's not just this evil killing machine, they're like, okay, why don't you go and figure out what's going on? So that's Otis.
All right. And then finally, we have an Ettin that crests the ridgeline.
Yeah, so bringing up the rear, these Etten crest the ridge, and you hear muttering and discourse of a most unpleasant kind. Although muffled, it's hard to make out the conversation that's happening behind you, Otis. Clarence and Smidge are 38 years old. They stand almost 12 and a half feet tall. Clarence does what he can to keep their appearance reasonable for an Etten, perhaps better than one might expect. Smidge is a slob, just an absolute slob. Clarence has managed to pull together an outfit, wool trimmed with hide, thicker fur, some leather. So they wear a long tunic, a long woolen tunic, with leather and hide trimming, like around the cuffs, maybe a little fur on the lapel, maybe leather across the pockets. And then a pair of hide breeches with leather and wool trim, high soft boots. Smidge insists on carrying a wicked spiked great club that doesn't, it just looks like it's been spikes driven into a large scrap of wood, very nasty, blood-stained, cracked and split here and there, maybe even like chunks of bone protruding from some of the smaller cracks on the club. While Clarence keeps a very nice battle axe and a sort of a sheath on their back so that he can, access it when needed. And Clarence smokes a long, almost delicate, long, looks like it's been carved of bone or ivory pipe, small pouch at his belt that probably contains tobacco. There's a sack. There's a knob end of what must be like a femur sticking out of the sack that still has some cartilaginous tissue and such on it. Probably belongs to Smidge. And so the thing with Clarence and Smidge, Clarence is intelligent, perhaps a bit refined for an Etten. He uses utensils, for instance. Smokes a pipe. And Clarence sees the good in beautiful things. He sees the good in kind people, but he greatly resents having to spare the world of Smidge's wicked, dull-witted, unrepentant ways. Smidge, on the other hand, is spiteful of all that is good and chafes mightily under the lashes of evil Clarence's oversight. I'm going to this conclave in hopes of meeting others as my brother, but for different purposes. I hope to sate my relentless appetite for man flesh and all the vices that come with obtaining it. I say, and Clarence kind of cuffs him upside the head. It's a kind of a typical, almost a natural twitch. Pipe down over there. And he lights his pipe. We're going to meet people, learn a bit about the Giants. I had to grease a few palms to get into this little expedition of ours, but I hope to meet people and share the goodness I wish for others to see that Etten can really be. And be an ambassador for all of giant kind. Smidge snarls. Oh, where's that short one up front with the shiny? I'd like to meet him first. Where's he at? And he scrambles over the ridge as Clarence cuffs him again, trying to kind of push his way carefully around the fire giant with an eye on the... Oh, Who are you, milady? Excuse me. Good Lord. You need to bathe. There it is. Get in my belly, little man. As he spots the kobold as they crest the ridge.
I think we're on the same team.
Oh, indeed we will be. Yeah.
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 You can only eat the humans. We're eating humans.
I'll eat whatever I can get my hands on. Little
Right.
man. Watch yourself.
Yeah, humans though.
And Clarence and Smidge travel with a two-headed dog named Ferguson and Graham. Because, well, out of character, I'm dog sitting Graham today, and my dog is Ferguson, Gus the pug. So that's Clarence and Smidge.
I mean, I could listen to that all day. But we have a story to tell, so we'll dive into it. The five of you have been traveling together for, I don't know, a little over a week or so. And as you've crested these rugged peaks and you're coming down into some of the lower elevation areas of this mountain range, which you probably all have different names for based on the giant kin tribes that you hail from. It's only the folks from the lowlands that have given it the name that it has on the maps. If you were to like roll out a large parchment with Anna B. Meyer's map on it, you would see the name the Crystalmist over the top of the map. But for you, it's just a rugged mountain range, and you've started to descend down into some of the lowland areas. There's large snow drifts that you've had to navigate through, scree slopes that have been dangerous for your traverse. But now as you come down in the lowlands and there's these crystals of sharpened snowflakes that are beginning to fall, the wind kind of pushing them in all kinds of directions, maybe stinging a bit as they hit the exposed skin of your face or your arms or your legs. And the sun is dropping beneath the ridgeline, casting this deep shadow, frigid wind, as I mentioned, blowing up through this canyon. There's been very little game to hunt. Especially at these elevations. You've got some meager rations amongst you. You've got maybe some designs on some recipes that you may hope to perhaps offer to the individuals at the conclave, maybe with some pride in your cooking skills, perhaps. You do have some rations, as I mentioned, but a hunger burns in your belly like a restless beast. Then on the wind, there's a change. It's faint at first, but it's unmistakable. The enticing aroma of roasted meats. Somewhere ahead, my friends, hidden by the wind and snow, there is food, a banquet perhaps, of meats wafting along the air currents. What would you like to do?
Little man, you're in luck. Something on the wind smells much better than you. Perhaps our lovely chef, we could provide her with some wares to whatever she does, but cook it and we could eat.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, and maybe we can find some rats. We can eat those too.
Pipe down, Smidge. Always thinking of your stomach. Perhaps we'd better be smart about this and circumnavigate, create a perimeter, and investigate what we are smelling. Perhaps something is cooking something that the cooking part is not the concern. The who is doing the cooking could be the concern. Yes.
Bull
Hey,
snaps.
Just go get it. You run in, and then I'll come in behind.
Don't encourage him. He
Go get it.
No, do not. He's easily influenced. As Clarence kind of grabs his ear, as Smidge starts to, try to lunge forward. Clarence grabs his ear. Don't encourage him, or you might end up on the end of one of those delicious-looking spikes, little man.
Bunker's just sort of off to one side, trying to catch snowflakes on his tongue, because he's easily distracted by the shiny snowflakes. Hey, Smidge! Smidge, come here. It's fun.
Oh, what is it?
Dude,
You smell horrible.
Catch him. Thank you. Catch
Clarence
him.
keeps us rather tidy.
Just Smidge, not the other one. Not the other one. Just Smidge, come here.
Well, unfortunately, what is it?
Catch him. It's fun.
I think you're dumber than I am, if possible.
Thank you. Wait.
Clarence is nodding with one arm shrugging. What are you doing, smelly one?
Yes. Duh.
Well, at least the snowflakes don't make him more gassy. Let's go. And I'm wiping some drool off my mouth and proceeding towards the smell at a normal pace.
The cook is ready. Let us go.
Are we?
What about the rest of you?
Gonna stick with me.
Smidge will follow immediately. Clarence kind of lets his ear go. Yeah, I'm following the chef.
Otis follows them. He honestly, like, he is seeing this around him, and it's like as he's moving, like his pose that he takes, it's almost like he's on the front of a romance novel. Like that's what you see, like as he looks around and he's just like, who are these people? I'm confused. This is
So sexy.
unusual. It's odd, but I smell some food and we should go. And so let's move forward.
Is it dark out? Do we need torches? What's happening?
The sun has sunk below the ridgeline, so there are these long shadows. It's not nighttime, but as anybody who's been in the mountains before, you know that the sun sets quite early because of the ridgeline. So it is getting dark. You could certainly light up a torch if you'd like to aid your traverse. But yeah, your noses, for the most part, after traveling for however many weeks it might have been to get to this point, you are led by your nose just as much as by any other senses, as this delicious smell of seasoned, not just roasted meats, but seasoned, especially Bull, you would pick up that there's a little bit of culinary insight to be had here. But yes, you creep forward or walk forward at a pace, making it a lot of noise, as giants do as they walk across the scree slopes and down the steep declines to what appears to be, and I would say probably, Chonk, you're the first to see it with your attuned senses. There is just the hint of a firelight, the crackle of a fire in the not too distant area. You can see sort of the shadows being cast against some of the rock walls, and there's this massive boulder up ahead, and it looks as though perhaps in the leeward side of this boulder there may be what you seek. What's up, puppy?
That's Graham.
Hey, Graham. Nice to meet you.
He looks nice.
He's a good boy.
So Chonk will whisper backwards. Looks like the boulder's cooking meat.
Smidge is like right on the heels of Bull, just dragging his club almost in a catatonic state of food apprehension. He's got those tusks on the bottom. One's snapped in half. The other one's kind of. What is it, chef?
I can't tell yet what meat this is, but it does appear that the boulder is cooking it.
What is your name, really, chef? That's what Clarence called you.
I do chef things, but it's Bull. You can call me Bull.
Bull. Okay.
I have a fondness for weird raw meats as well, and I think we'll get along pretty well.
Raw meat is fine.
Hey, Smidge, why don't you just rush in there and attack and kill the boulder?
All right, let's
And
go.
we'll eat the meat.
Picks up his club, and Clarence grabs his ear like always. Now, little man, do not encourage. Now you've made the dogs bark. What of stealth and intellect?
I think boulders need to be surprised. Surprise it.
Boulders.
And then I'll come in when you've surprised it and you're fighting it, I'll come in behind you and eat the meat. Go.
Bull would like to look on the ground, see if there's anything that's been traveling around this area first before she charges in. Before everyone runs in front of her.
Yeah, Bull, you look about and there is what appears to be a fairly well-worn game trail. So animals probably move through this area. Give me a wisdom check. This will be just a normal check for you. So the 12 is your target to see if there's any specific tracks that you might pick up.
13.
13. All right. Yeah. So you see that there's probably some goats, some mountain goats that have used this trail before. There appear to be also boot prints, a human-sized boot prints.
I haven't tried human. This looks like human size. Let's go in there.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Let us go.
And I will do a very loud crack of my back again and stand up to my full height and begin to walk in.
All right.
Smidge
At a
is right
normal
on your
pace.
tail with his club.
Junker's just walking right in.
Mm-hmm.
Clarence with his pipe, just shaking his head. There's no good of this. Will come of this at all. We're approaching this all wrong.
How about Chonk?
John's going to make sure that the Giants get a head start. Like they're in the
Just
lead.
kind of stay behind.
He'll kind of follow in behind.
Tactical.
It seems like Chonk has got a pretty good survival instinct based on what you just did, which is probably very smart.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about Otis? Yeah.
Otis, honestly, with seeing all this around, he actually takes his great sword off his back. You can see, and whenever he gets close to something other than a giant, it will start to gleam a little bit, like almost wanting to flame, but not quite yet. So it's a little trigger. And he's, seeing the people around him do their craziness and their kind of all these games that they're doing. And at some level, he's just eyeing in front to make sure that the first one that comes towards them, that they catch the full kind of power of his steel.
Okay. All right. So as the five of you with Chonk kind of staying back a little bit, and Bull leading the way, you come around this giant boulder. I mean, we're talking this boulder is the size of, I don't know, like a giant house for a giant, like a giant's house, just a huge boulder. And as you come around the side, you can see that there's a campfire lit. It appears to be well fueled. The flames are flickering aggressively. There's the reflection of the light off of this rock that kind of reflects not only the light, but the heat down to what appears to be a fairly well-used campsite. Upon the fire is a makeshift spit that has been constructed, and on the spit, a large chunk of what appears to be goat meat that is sizzling and blackening with char, and that's where the smell is coming from. You look about, and that's all you see. Aside from there's a tent, and there are a couple of packs that are laid to the side, but that's all you see.
There will not be enough meat. I could already tell. As he points at the makeshift spit, drool.
What's around the
Like a
campfire?
mastiff.
Like, what's the terrain like? Is it wooded or?
This is mountainous, so there's very few trees. There's maybe some scrub trees that are kind of eking out a living on some exposed soil, but it's mainly a bedrock. You're in the mountains.
And the size of the packs, they are like
Human-sized, humanoid-sized. Yep.
when Otis sees that these are just human-sized packs or whatnot, he puts his great sword back onto his back. He knows that that the humans in general, even though there's been problems, he's had this good relationship or better relationship with them, so he's less concerned of it being some other type of creature or something that could be potentially harmful.
Okay. Clarence, sorry, go ahead, Chris. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, I want to scan the rocks around the campfire to see if maybe the occupants of the camp have try to hide behind some of the scrub or bushes.
Sure, give me a wisdom check. It'll be a normal check for you, Clarence. As you and your brother step forward to inspect the meat, you hear shouts. And Chonk, what did you get for your roll?
I got an 18.
Okay, and you see this before it happens as you're kind of back in the shadows a little bit, and you watch as 4 humans jump out of the surrounding darkness with spears, and one of them kind of steps forward and says, "Be gone, giant kin! This is our food, our survival! We will fight to the death!"
Oh, that's good to meet you, Clarence. Here, this is Smidge. Pay him no mind. I'll keep him from eating you, but perhaps we might share your fire. Make acquaintance. Let me introduce you to my friends. And he looks around to see if anybody came with him into the firelight.
You look at these
individuals,
they're just shaking with spears in their hands. Go ahead, Chonk.
As he's looking back, Chonk will shout out, "Watch out for the humans coming with spears."
They look quite delicious to me. Perhaps you all should surround them and we'll smash them into bits and make jelly.
Go ahead and everybody roll initiative.
What die do we roll for that?
D20, add your dexterity modifier, and then we'll go around the table and we'll get some initiative orders here.
Why is my dex -1?
Anybody have over 20 on initiative? 15 to 20? 10 to 15?
Chonk has an 11.
Clarence and Smidge have a 12.
Okay. 11 for Chonk. 5 to 10? 0 to 5.
3.
4 for Otis.
Oh, no.
And what about Bull?
2.
2. 4, 3, 2. Otis.
We're off to a great
3.
start.
Yep. That's all
The
right.
Giants. Of course, it's the Giants.
Bunker is a 4 and
No, 3. I'm a 3.
oh yeah, and Otis is a 4.
Bet you I'd finish them all off before you guys even go.
You got to get to the front of the line first.
And Shell, you had the 2.
I did.
Okay. All right.
What is
So
he drooling?
Arthritic knees.
Clarence and Smidge, you
my
have the initiative. What would you like to do?
Smidge will raise his great club and Clarence will take his other arm around and block it. Oh, just a moment. Just wait a minute. Let's meet these fine people. See what they're all about. And that's their action. As Smidge is like trying to bash one of them.
So you're kind of like having this internal struggle. Smidge is raising the weapon to smash. Clarence is trying to stop him.
Yeah, Clarence has got his long pipe clenched in his teeth, a curl of smoke coming out of it as he's trying to stop Smidge from bashing him.
Scott, give me a D6 roll. 1 through 3 is Clarence. 4, 5, 6 is Smidge. Okay, so Smidge is going to have the upper hand, so to speak, on this internal struggle. So whatever that might look like. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so does that mean he's going to make an attack roll?
Sure. If you want to, you can play it out the way you want, but he is definitely getting, if you just wanted to have that threat there for now, that's fine too.
Yeah, he's going to take a swing, but I feel like maybe at disadvantage because Clarence is mucking up his thing here.
Sounds good.
I'll roll a pair of 20s. And that's an attack roll, right? So I get some kind of strength thing there, +3. That's an 11.
Okay, an 11. All right, so he swings, but with the influence of Clarence misses, and the club, is it a club? Just hits the ground and
spiked club. It's nasty.
Yeah, rocks go flying, dust shoots up into the air. You hear sort of like the sighs or groans of the humans in front of you as they tense. We'll go next to Chonk.
So are the 4 humans focused on Clarence and Smidge?
They certainly are. They are now.
And so what I want to do is I want to sort of keep to the shadows. I imagine because it's sort of getting dusk or the light's fading away, there's some shadows around. And since they're occupied with him, I'd like to make my way in a stealthy-ish sort of way to the meat on the fire.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity roll. We'll give you advantage on this because of the situation. 12 is what you're shooting for.
All right. Let's see. Hang on a second. And I'm reading my character sheet right that I have a +2 even though I have an 8 dex. Right?
No.
That's what it says.
Okay.
I have a 17 strength with a -2 and an 8 dex with a +2.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Go with the bonuses, not the actual
so then I got a
score.
13.
Yeah. Okay. 13. You're successful. You scamper or skitter over to the meat that's roasting on the spit. What are you going to do when you get there?
Like how much meat is it? Can I just take it off the spit?
It would take an action, or maybe two, to like pull it off the spit, pull it off this large skewer that it's on. It's the size of like a full lamb shank. It's like a goat's leg.
Can I just take the spit?
You could just pull it off. Yep, absolutely.
I'll just pull it off.
Give me a strength check. This will be, we're going to make this a normal check.
Well, let's see. That's a 4.
Yeah, as you pull it up, you grab the spit and pull it down, and it falls right into the fire, just sending sparks up. And that's when you kind of turn over your shoulder and you see one of the humans kind of turns towards you.
Oh, and his eyes are really big.
Big, real big. Because
Yeah,
he's a big kobold.
Yeah, he's going to try to like run back into the shadows.
Okay, so as this is all happening, these 4 individuals who are look to be hoping to maybe save their food are going to avoid getting hit by Smidge, and then they're going to attack with spears. So let's go ahead and get some attacks. The first one is going to go against Clarence and Smidge, and is
Why are you
going
singling me
to
out?
miss terribly with a 6. And then the second one is going to take another attack at Smidge and miss terribly with the 2. One of them is going to lunge forward against Chonk, and is going to miss with a 4. And the last one is going to lunge towards Bowl, who is at the front of the group. And that is going to be a 16 to hit. Does that hit your AC, Bowl? Okay, so you take a spear into the leg, the lower calf probably, because you're huge. And that's going to be a total of 6 damage. It must have hit some sort of an artery or something as you start to gout blood onto the ground. That's their turn as they're shouting and lunging forward in a defensive posture against a group of giants. Probably a bad decision. Otis, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Otis would normally try to parlay with these people, but clearly he is seeing his fellow frost giant take one in the leg, so he'll pull out his flaming greatsword, and he will lunge towards the one that is going after the frost giant, and at the same time he'll be screaming to the human that's there. He'll be screaming, you better watch out for us giants. We're really hard to handle. And he gets a 2, rolls a 2, and that's a 6 to hit. And that misses.
Yeah, that misses. You swing this massive greatsword down, and it just lands on the ground right next to one of the individuals that you were just shouting at, and they like backpedal, just barely being missed by your blade. That brings us to Bunker.
Bunker's just making a beeline for the fire, and if there happens to be a squishy human in the way, I'm going to squish it with my great club.
Yeah, there's squishies.
So I'm just walking forward, and if one's dumb enough to get in front of me, I just
going to club them.
I'm just going to club them.
All right, let's do it.
That's what we do. That's a +3, 14.
That will hit. Roll damage.
Bunker's getting ready to assemble the ingredients for a hot dish.
Yes.
Toe pancake?
Do I have my +3 to damage also, or just attack?
Only if it says so on your character
Just
sheet.
attack.
Usually,
Okay.
usually not. Usually, you're not adding anything to damage unless there's a specific notation
No,
on your character
so
sheet.
I do with rocks, but not with my club. Okay. Ooh, 6.
6 damage.
Yep.
Tell us what it looks like when you completely squash this human and kill them.
So the human's there with his spear going, and there's just compressed like a cartoon, just straight down, bam, and they're just
Jelly him, yes, very nice, stinky man.
Blood and internal organs just squirt out the sides of this huge club.
impact.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. All right, that brings us to Bowl.
Was that the one that just got me? That just got pancaked?
Was it the one that speared
stabbed me
your
in the leg?
companion, Bunker?
How
No,
many are there?
sounds like it wasn't.
I
No,
don't know.
okay.
There's still
Whoever
someone
was in
holding a
front of me.
spear in your leg right now.
Okay.
Okay. I would turn and look down. I'm not my full height. And I pull out my
Sorry.
mace, or my what do I got? Me tenderizer, and I say, like, I would have been happy just taking spices in a toe, but I guess it's on. Boom. I'll try to smash him with the tenderizer.
right. Give us a roll.
Okay. 14
That will hit.
for 12 damage.
Also, please describe how you totally obliterate this humanoid.
I think in a similar style, like I'm just coming straight down through the head and avoiding squishing the feet, clearly. So like as soon as I get to like the kneecaps, I'll do a little twist at the end.
Roll
So
a
he'll
dexterity roll. Let's see how much of the toes you preserve in this attack. We'll call it a 12.
No. Okay, that's 6.
Yeah, you try your best to avoid the tenderest bits, but you fully squash them. Toenails go flying in multiple directions.
They're still good for eating though. Just not what I'm
nice
looking
and
for.
crunchy, especially when salted. All right, so back to the top of the order. 2 of these spear-holding humans have been killed. It is Clarence and Smidge's turn. I will say this, Bull, when you clobber this individual, you totally obliterate them. The spear snaps, and you still have a spear stuck through your calf muscle. Clarence and Smidge, what would you like to do?
Oh, very unfortunate indeed. This turn of events, I was hoping to make friends. And now look what we have. And Clarence will pull his battle axe when he sees that his chef friend has been stabbed, and he will take a swing with, I'm assuming it'll be either attack, the club or the axe, not both.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
So yeah,
Yep.
he'll take a swing now that he's seen battle is really kind of happening.
This is Clarence?
He's going to take a swing at the at one of the
Mhm.
remaining humans
Okay,
with his battle axe. And that is a nat 20. Is that good?
that's really good. So you can either double the damage that you roll, or you can double the dice that you're going to roll, but you have to decide
I'm
ahead of
gonna
time.
roll the dice twice
Okay,
because I like the sound of
yeah, more dice is always fun,
Dice.
for sure. Let her rip.
That's a 41 on the percentile. Oh, sorry, 5.
5?
Yeah.
Describe the death that you invoke upon this poor individual who makes bad
I
choices.
I do apologize, and just cuts him kind of shoulder to hip in half.
Mhm.
And look, the toes are in excellent condition, chef.
They do this thing where they just kind of like slide apart in 2 pieces. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's wondrous.
Oh, good job, brother. Very well done. You come to your senses. We'll all eat well this evening.
We'll go to Chonk next. Chonk, there is one of these individuals left, and they are the one that lunged towards you. So they're standing in front of you with the spear, looking around. All this chaos happening. What do you want to do?
So Chonk is going to say, Dark, don't try to steal my meat. And I'm going to take a swing at him with my spear, or a stabby stab. I'm going to poke him.
Okay, so you're gonna leave the meats burning in the fire, and you're gonna turn and try to stab this guy.
Oh,
Let's
I
do it.
forgot about the meat.
Yep.
I got a 5.
Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. You lunge forward, and this individual steps out of the way.
Oh, pretty tough.
And as they step out of the way, they are going to run. They're going to try to run as fast as they can. They drop their spear and take off into the darkness. I will ask this: does anybody want to take a swing or give chase? Let's start with Otis. We'll go down initiative order. Otis, do you want to do anything?
Sure, he'll take a swing.
All right, give us a swing. Give us a swing.
8.
Misses as this individual runs. Bunker, what do you want to do?
Oh, he's running. He moved. Caught my eye. I want to hit him.
It's what we call fast food in the giant world.
Oh, plus 3. It was a 22 hit.
Yeah, it sure does. Go ahead and roll damage, please.
And that is good. 4.
Yep. Describe this individual's death.
He goes running by. I try to do another great big just squish, but it's more of a horizontal swing because it was like an attack of opportunity. And I basically just send his head flying off into the woods.
Oh, yeah. He just pops like
lose the head now.
The head could be recovered. You could probably spend some time to find it if you'd like to, Smidge.
Very well, thank you.
All goes quiet. The fire is still burning. The chunk of meat is in the fire, also burning. You have very squished and squashed humanoids laying about the campsite, but all is calm and quiet. What would you guys like to do?
This is wonderful. Now we have humans, a goat, and a kobold to eat for our dinner. Supper will be a veritable feast.
I'm gonna take my spear and poke the meat and lift it out of the fire. Try to lift it out of the fire.
Yeah, you can do that. Yep, absolutely. You pull the meat out and brush off maybe some of the ash and you know,
I don't worry
dirt.
about that.
Yeah, or not.
I mean,
Clarence and Smidge stomp off in the direction of the home run ball.
The head?
Find the head.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Takes you a little bit of time, but you find it and you can walk back with your trophy.
Smidge
Bull's
is
gonna-
just holding it by the hair.
Pull the spear out, which to anyone else, I think this broken off piece of the spear is very cold to the touch, but to her, it's just a normal feeling. She's gonna just kind of twist it, pull it out, apply direct pressure, and hope for the best, and make plans to go find any spices the humans have. She's not even thinking about the wound. She's thinking about the spices.
Chef, are you all right? Goodness, that was quite a stick you took in the leg.
I'm fine. It's just it's a flesh wound. Where are their cooking implements? Can you see them?
Indeed. Surely there's some nice cooking apparel here. They seem civilized enough.
We can put their own spices on their own bodies and eat them.
Hacking his pipe and getting it lit again. Yes, wonderful. Well done. Seems they didn't want to parlay after all. Oh well. We'll eat
Does
them.
anyone want pancakes? And I pull out a rolling pin.
Bunker looks at the rolling pin, and then he looks down at the one he flattened already with his club and looks back at the rolling pin to sort of...
We've got to even the meat out to cook properly.
Oh, cook?
Well, if that's your preference. If it's not, then eat away.
He's going to just pick up the one that he beheaded and just kind of hold it by its foot over the fire for a minute.
Hill giants.
Otis takes like his sword and like wipes it on the dirt that on his sword that he and his 2 misses and often on his leg, and he looks around like, did anyone see me do that? Oh, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
I think he spends some time in the campsite, you know, going through possibly some of you, it sounds like Bull particular, and probably Chonk would do the same, as like looking through some of the packs and the gear, and you find, you know, human related stuff, you know, some personal items that look to be marginally interesting, but maybe for a kobold might be something to collect. You know, things like letters, maybe some crude rudimentary like jewelry that really doesn't have a whole lot of monetary value. There are a couple of broken human-sized spears that lay about that make great skewers. There's really not a whole lot, but they do have a cooking kit, which does have a bundle of spices. But it looks as though their rations were worn as well, were running out, and so that's probably why they were so intent on defending their food. You look at what's left of any of the bodies that have some level of intactness to them, and they look emaciated, they look hungry, they look like they were possibly weak. Obviously, they didn't put up much of a fight. They look like, I mean, if they were in better shape, it would be more of a real meal, but you can pick some meat off those bones or just chomp on the bones. I mean, there's value to that. Yeah, that's right. So you do find some spices, Bull, that you can add to your inventory if you'd like, a variety of different spices, perhaps.
Human spices.
Smidge rips a leg off, snaps it, wiggles it loose, pulls the hip out, snaps it at the knee, throws the tibia, the bottom half down, and proceeds to make a meal out of the upper.
Yeah. It's a pretty decent meal. I mean, you've got the goat leg, you've got the humans, what's left of them. I will say that Otis, while you're sort of maybe taking stock of your former foes, looking down, you see that one of them had a shield that was laying next to a pack, and it had it was hammered to have almost like an embossed lion on it. It looks banged and worn as well. None of their equipment looked very new. They don't have uniforms on, but you take note of it as a little bit more of a tactician. Perhaps you can see that there might be some relevance of that symbol.
Would he recognize it or?
No, you don't recognize it, but it's noteworthy to you.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
He notes it and kind of what's the emblem is a.
It's like a lion.
Okay, a lion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything to the rest of the group, who just kind of takes note and then kind of actually he's trying to figure out what their next steps are. Are they going to sleep or are they going to move? And he looks at Clarence, because Clarence seems to be the one that's probably the most sane of his compatriots, and says, Clarence, what would you suggest that we do now? Do we keep moving towards the conclave, or do we rest and eat and gain more? Scott,
Clarence is muted.
Clarence is muted. Hey, Clarence.
You're muted.
So I'm talking away and no one's listening. I see how this is supposed to be now. Seems like this might be a good idea to rest. I don't like to walk much after eating. What do you think? I'm full.
Yeah, Otis looks, but he's worried a little bit of the timing of when they need to be there. The conclave is supposed to be starting in Dave. When's the conclave?
It's unclear. All you know is that the conclave was imminent. There was a message somehow that was received by your tribes to send representatives to this place. You've been traveling for weeks to get here, so you don't have a specific date.
Right. Otis says maybe we should rest, especially with our frost giant friend here. Seems injured and potentially might need some time to heal.
If I hear this, I will shout out, I concur. I need some time to rest.
Hey, when we get to the conclave, do you think I can vote for Pope?
The Otis just kind of looks at Sean, does nothing, then turns back to
Here we go.
and says, turns back to the frost giant and says, I think resting is good for you, and doesn't even like register what Chonk said to him.
It's good for all of us, for our digestion after eating such a meaty meal.
Bull, did you do anything to dress the wound that you have?
I wrapped it. I mean,
give me an intelligence check, please.
Oh no, not that.
Yeah, this will be a normal check for you. So 12 is yours.
Smidge is snoring.
Smidge noted.
Oh, okay, I made it. 15.
Okay, yeah, you stop the bleeding to the best of your ability. The bleeding is stopped. The rags look to be soaked. You change them out again, and you feel like you've got it fairly under control.
I've elevated my leg as well.
Mhm.
I'm
Do you
on
have
the
any
ground.
Capacity to heal in the group or no?
Mm-mm.
No, we're just like
A nice meaty meal is all the healing we need.
Rest and food will
Food.
heal you. Yep.
right, okay.
Yeah.
I, Otis thinks that that's to keep a strong party. That the best thing is that we rest and eat and then move in the morning.
As Chunk is eating his goat that he saved from the fire, he's going to be admiring the cheap pieces of jewelry that he found in the pack. He's going to be looking over it going, oh, wow, that is great. And he's going to keep making the noises like, bright, shiny. And then he's going to look at Bowl and say, I can see why they fought so hard to defend all these shinies. They fought
Chunk,
pretty tough.
You also find 6 silver pieces amongst the packs and 8 copper pieces.
Wow. Chunk became rich.
We're
Bunker's
also
gonna-
rich in food too. The spices are ridiculous. I've never seen this before. Smell it. I think it's probably like cardamom. I don't know. Something that we've never had. Those humans, they know how to
Exotic
eat.
spices.
Yeah.
Definitely exotic spices from what you're used to, but you can sense that they are delicious.
They have been eating cardamom for a while. Can you taste it in their meat?
Yeah, poor cardamom.
I'm also very sure to take a human toe intact and put it in a special bag and put it in my bag.
Poucho toes.
Human toe collected. Yes.
right.
Bunker's still hungry, and he's going to look around. Do they have any horses or anything?
No, they don't.
He's going to look in the tent. Just like pick the tent up, see if there's any horses in it.
There's no horse in the tent either.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
There are a couple of blankets and bedrolls that you expose as you pull the tent up.
I'll just shake it
knock the
out.
tent down. Yep. It's just the tent is just a large piece of canvas, whitish stained canvas. Looks like it's been patched many times.
Where did they hide their horses?
With all this money, we can buy any horse we want.
So it seems to me like you guys are gonna. Sounds like you're going to stay the night here, rest, eat the food that you have, and do some healing. So what I'd like to do is just quickly go around the table here before we take a mid-session break, and just see, is there anything else that you would want to do this night before we come back to the next day? So let's start with Bowl. Anything else that you'd like to do?
Not really. I mean, healing is a big deal right now because she just took like half her hit points. So she's really making sure that is healed up, and she's going to sniff all of the spices that she just got and sort of put them into her memory bank in terms of how those are going to work with the meats that she's going to be cooking up later.
Okay. Bunker.
Bunker's gonna, first of all, what he always does, he's gonna go over by the fire and put out a great big fart into it. See if they can make a big poof. And then he's gonna take the tent and he's gonna go lay down and use the tent kind of like a real tiny blanket. Try to basically just like cover his fat belly with it and then just start snoring.
Okay. Otis.
Otis will kind of take care of his armor. He'll make sure that it looks okay, everything's tightened up, because he knows that they're gonna now probably facing something later, and he'll just more think with regards to he'll sit down for his sleep, kind of pull himself back up onto a rock and kind of consternate a little bit about what this group of people or giants that he's actually traveling with. He's now, after this kind of event, this encounter, he's a little bit he doesn't know what to make a smidge. He's worried, I guess, is what his biggest issue is. He's just glad Clarence is part of the group, though.
Fair assessment there. I think he's doing some really good strategic thinking here. Speaking of Clarence and Smidge, we'll go next to the duo, the Etten duo.
Yeah, Smidge is snoring and drooling on himself. He's out. head just kind of down, chin on his chest. And Clarence is, they're leaned back, feet up on a log, maybe. And Clarence is kind of looking up, just smoking his pipe thoughtfully, quietly. Just, occasionally, hits his galley a little bit, gets his break.
Fair. All right. And then finally, Chonk.
So once Chonk gets his fill of goat meat, he's going to start gathering his new shinies that they found sort of around him as he lays back down to sleep, and he carefully, with both of his hands, grabs the shiny around his neck, making sure that he doesn't get cut by the jagged shards of the shiny. But he grabs it in both of his hands, and he says, "Thank you, Melvin, Demon Lord of the 38th Plane of Hell, for protecting my life once again." And then he lets go and he lays back and falls asleep.
What a soothing, thing to think about as you're getting ready for bed. I love that. Okay, so with that said, you find your rest. You take a night's sleep. You are unmolested, as it were, during that restful time. And Bull, you are able to, with the consumption of the food and the rest, regain your hit points at the next morning. And we're going to take a quick break here. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us in the chat. A lot of awesome, fun folks have joined us, and we appreciate you for that. If you like what we do, please consider following the channel. And if you're following, please consider a subscription to help support us so that we can help support all the other great people that help make our shit look cool. Folks like Jose Ortiz and folks like Tabletop Audio and Anna B. Meyer and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. We'll be back in 5 minutes. What is up, everybody? We are back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Great to see friends continuing to drop into the chat. Really, really cool to see you all on a Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to remind myself and remember to announce or make sure that folks are aware that we have a little fundraiser side of things here. And we are trying to help support the American Red Cross in their efforts to provide relief to folks that are suffering from the LA fires. There's a link in the chat. If you have an opportunity or the means to donate, even $5 can be very helpful if there's numbers of people that do it. If you can't, totally understand if you don't have the means to do it, but maybe you can help spread the word by sharing that link with your social networks and letting people know that there are people in need. We like to think here at Guild Superior that we can be heroic around the gaming table and in real life, and we have a very generous, kick-ass community that has proven that to be true over and over again. So thank you for all being part of that and helping to support that effort at whatever level you can. So thank you for that. We have met, as it were, a ragtag group of giant kin and Chonk who have traveled from places far and wide to I guess, what am I trying to say? Have traveled far and wide to bring themselves to a conclave, a giant conclave that has been called. The reasons for which maybe aren't clear to everyone, nor the reasons why they've been selected. But along that journey, you have traveled a long ways. You have found yourselves hungry and weary, and luckily stumbled upon a campsite of a small group of humans who happen to have they happen to be food, and they also happen to have some food available. for the taking, and take it you did. You have found yourselves sitting around a fire, our frost giant bull tending to wounds. You have found yourselves drifting off into sleep with thoughts of demons and dark gods, perhaps, or maybe just thinking of your next meal. Nevertheless, when you wake the next day, you find that you are well rested with a full belly, although, let's be honest, giants are probably hungry all the time. Your wounds having been healed, Bull, as well. And you set back out on your journey. Now, the journey itself takes some time. You travel for, I don't know, another couple of days, perhaps. Shenanigans ensue along the way, no doubt. And those are things that maybe will be left to secrecy and other storytelling opportunities. But nevertheless, you find yourselves cresting a small ridgeline as you now have come down out of the mountains. The snowy peaks and the snowdrifts receding. You're getting in an area where they're melting. Little rivulets of water kind of flowing down the trail. This wide game trail that you happen to find yourself on now. You can see that there are in the distance, as the clouds sort of part and you come down below the ceiling of clouds, that there's a small lake in the distance of just beautiful azure blue water. And you continue on. Now, days pass, as I mentioned, and you find yourselves gathering towards a low, flat area of the mountains in this ridgeline. And you see, as you come down from a high vantage point, that there is smoke that is sort of billowing out of what appears to have been at some point a settlement. I would say probably, Otis, you would have some knowledge that this is the location of the conclave based on the surrounding topography. But as I mentioned, as you look down towards it, you can see that it is in a state of disarray. There is no movement of giants or otherwise, but you see that there are smoke clouds that are sort of billowing ever so gently out of the ashes and ruins of this once longhouse of giant kind. What would you guys like to do?
Is it white smoke or black smoke?
It's black smoke.
Looks like they haven't picked a pope yet.
Oh.
This is it, right? This is where.
I say, weren't there supposed to be numbers of giants here? I don't see anyone else but us and all this destruction and burning. Perhaps they've already conclaved.
Where's the buffet?
I was supposed to share some recipes.
But those humans got revenge.
I was hoping to get some tobacco I've never tried before. Don't understand.
Also, we just go home?
Are all the buildings destroyed? I mean, is it?
So you guys are like up on this ridge, maybe looking down towards where the lake is, and there's this. It looks like there was one large, like
Conference center.
Longhouse. Basically, think of like a Viking longhouse, right? And it is now sort of damaged. If you guys want to go and investigate, you certainly can. But yeah, based on what you can see from this vantage point, and with this decision in front of you, it looks as though everything is destroyed and smoldering.
Midge pulls the femur bone out of his sack. There's, the fresher one, gnawing on it a bit. I hope we're not too late for dinner. The kobold is mine, however, just so we're clear. And he kind of side-eyes Chunk. We have a deal.
No, I have a lot of gristle.
Clarence cuffs him upside the head again, takes an angry draw from his pipe.
Otis,
Conclave, to me, it looks like destruction.
Otis pulls his sword out and he points in the distance in a pose towards him. Says, "We must go and find our brothers."
Before we walk off, Bull will turn to Midge and say, "You can have the kobold, but leave me a toe."
Hey,
He'll kind of
Quietly,
offer this
quietly, I say that.
like a fist bump with the femur in his hand. Oh, good deal, milady. Kind of belches. They don't like toes anybody. There's not much meat on them.
Flavor. It's all about flavor.
He'll kind of side-eye chunk again.
Mm.
Yeah.
Untapped flavor. We should go see what this is, though. I mean, we're supposed to be here. Others are supposed to be here.
it seems.
I don't suppose they're still here that did this.
Is there any sign of, say, a tiefling, a Goliath, a human ranger, who am I forgetting?
Rogue of Zanya.
Rogue with a bat plate cape? Any of that?
I will say that Bunker, if you wanted to do investigate, you would basically just go down to the site of the ruins from this distance. Because I've kind of envisioned you guys like coming over the ridge and be like, "Oh shit, look at that!" And you're all kind of like debating on what to do. But if you would like to advance towards it, you can certainly look and see.
Yeah, I came for the food. I want to see where the buffet is. So.
All right, so Bunker begins to descend towards the ruins.
Looks as though the cooking fires have been lit. I'm sure they're ready to welcome us. I sent word ahead of my imminent arrival.
Your reservation.
The beacons of the conclave have been lit.
Possibly a little too aggressively. It's a hell of a party, as Scottish Jeff would say. All right, so does anybody else join Bunker in heading down to the site to investigate? Clarence as well. Okay. Yep. Clarence and Smidge. Yep.
Bull will
right.
also follow.
I'll let them go first, and then I'll follow behind.
Otis is definitely going.
Okay, so you guys all head down, and you can see there's the blackened timbers are kind of jutting up from the ground. There's this great sort of wooden beams that once supported the hall, this towering roof of the hall. As you can imagine, for giants, it would be quite a sight to behold the size of this conference center, as Shelley described it. They're now just smoldering husks, right? So everything is kind of collapsed inward. It looks like there were fires set intentionally. Things kind of collapsed under their own weight. You can see there's small embers that still glow dimly beneath layers of ash, and they send up these little wisps of dark smoke. There's some areas where there's a little bit more of a fire burning and black billowing smoke being given up. It doesn't seem like whatever happened here happened a long time ago. Certainly there is nobody around. As you look around, there's no living creatures. However, what you do see is scattered about the wreckage. There are bodies of humanoids laying about, as though there was some sort of a battle. But there are also within the wreckage lay the mutilated bodies of giants, sprawled here and there, sprawled where they were slain, half buried beneath the ash, darkened by fire, laying in pools of dirt and mud, seeping into the bones of the earth. And you just look around, and this was a massacre. There was a massive battle here.
At least they left the food.
Where?
Otis is going to look around to see if there's any tracks leading away or exit or entry, people coming or going, to see, kind of maybe try to piece together what happened here.
Sure. Yeah. You look about, Otis, and you can see that there are tracks everywhere. As I mentioned it looks, well, let's do this. Give me an intelligence check. And we're going to make this hard. So it's going to be a 15.
Okay. 14.
Okay. What you glean is that there were a large number of small humanoid creatures that were here. There are tracks everywhere. There are tracks that are over the top of barefooted giant tracks, big, large, booted giant tracks. So you get the sense that there was a group of humans that left here after the battle. You don't see any giant tracks leaving the area. Now there are, let's see. There are approximately 10 giant. We'll just say there's 10 giants that are laying in various states of having been killed, gutted, hacked at, mutilated. One thing you notice is that their ears are missing. Another thing that you identify, that all of you as you're looking about, and there's meat. So there's giant and human meat to be had if you would like it. It doesn't look like it's been spoiled, although some of it is dirty with mud and blood and gore, but that's not a problem for some of you. You look around as well, and you see that there are more shields that lay about that have this lion, the heraldry of a lion, fashioned into them.
Did you say just the giants were missing the ears, or the giants?
No, just the giants are missing ears.
The humans look like they left because they're on top of the other prince.
That's what Otis would have described to you. Yeah.
Hey, that's why they didn't hear the humans coming.
Yeah. Sad.
Wait. And Clarence packs another plate full and lights it. By my deduction and close inspection, it appears there was a battle here. Yes, indeed. There was a fight, a skirmish.
The humans did this.
Sure of it.
They were probably mad we took their shinies last night.
That one may have come down here. Did all this.
That one probably did all this. He was pretty tough.
But if
And a lot of prints.
So you think the humans may have killed the giants?
Why did they take the ears? Do you think they're making some kind of like fricassee or something with ears? Like, this is what I'm doing.
Pancakes.
But we just killed all the humans last evening. Why did these giants have such a difficult time?
Oh, that's right.
They had no ears.
You might be onto something.
Oh,
Bunker.
yeah.
Bunker.
I'm not dumb. I'm no dum-dum.
Yes, indeed. And Clarence will be poking through the remains and looking around like he's some sort of Sherlock Holmes type detective.
Bunker's gonna pick up like a dead human and just start kind of idly munching on it. And then I want to observe all the patterns of the tracks and everything. And I want to make an intelligence check to see if I can figure out exactly what happened here.
Sure. It's going to be a hard check for you. So 15 is going to be the.
I think Clarence would also like to avail himself of some intelligence.
I got a total of 0.
Okay. So best you can gather is that there was a fight. Some people lost.
Oh, hey.
Some people won.
Big fight here.
Might have been some dancing.
I too rolled a 0.
Yes, similar. There's food aplenty, depending on what your dietary restrictions might be. Otis, one thing that you pick up on is as you're examining the carnage, specifically concerned about your, I think you call them your brothers and sisters. You look about and you can see that there is another of your kind amongst the slain giants, a fire giant that lays on, once proud, now broken and bloodied. You take a look closer as you walk up to it. The armor is scorched and dented, and you can see, however, that there is just an ever so subtle rise, a struggled rise in their chest, a ragged breath.
So Otis calls over the group and says, I think one of my brothers is still alive. He's traveled. It's clear he's traveled from a long distance. We must try to save him. And
I'll walk over and raise my club.
And Otis just basically looks at him.
Oh no. Oh.
Just like a stare, just a darts from his eyes.
Oh.
Exactly. And then
Bull, rush over too.
Yeah. So Bull comes. So Bull comes over. Otis starts trying to take off his armor on the front of him to see if there's any wounds that he has that he might be able to kind of treat when he's there, and then he asks for Bull to see whether or not she might have some type of bandages or kind of some type of something to be able to kind of patch or plug up his wounds that might be that he might be bleeding from.
Sure.
And maybe
Yeah.
into his mouth to either some type of something to help him, stimulate him to get him back.
You start to peel off the armor, which you do with some difficulty. There is you can tell immediately as you pull the chest plate off that there are multiple puncture wounds from probably spears. There is there's festering wounds that look as though they're already infected. Almost well, give me an intelligence check, both Otis and Bull, as you are there kind of hunched over this individual as their breathing is ragged. They groan as you peel off the armor.
That is a 19.
Okay, how about Bull?
10.
Okay, so Otis, you look at the wounds, and this individual kind of groans as you peel back the cloth beneath the armor, and you get a sense that there's some sort of a necrosis associated with these wounds. There's a massive slashing wound, probably from some sort of a sword that has almost disemboweled this individual. And as you peel back some of the damp sort of blood-soaked rags, you can just see some of it starts to slide out, some of the intestines slide out onto the ground next to this individual. Both you and Bull, you get the sense that this individual, there's nothing you could do to save this individual. And as you're doing all this and they're groaning from the manipulation of their armor and their clothing, their eyes kind of flutter open and they look up at you, Otis, with pain and a little flicker of fury that seems to be burning out in their eyes. You're too late. I'm afraid you've come too late. Or perhaps your timing was well thought. We are Ash, the conclave, our kin butchered. Time is our enemy now.
And so Bull says, "Who did this? Who did this?"
They came in the night. Humans and dwarves, too many to count, bearing the emblem of the lion. We were drunk and sick. We were poisoned. Somehow we were.
Are there any survivors? Any survivors?
Not of our kind.
Why did they take your ear? And I am examining the cut, because I am no stranger to knives and cutting meat.
They don't even probably realize that their ear has been cut off at this point, but they're like, they bore the marks of the lowland kings. This was no chance encounter. They knew of the conclave. They must have. They took the relic. Boy, he kind of reaches up with one arm and grabs your arm, Otis. The relic. The tablet of Anam. They took it. You must take it back. You must make them pay, or we will be nothing but old stories whispered in the darkness. East. They went to the east. A chunk. Something happens at this moment as he starts to give way his message. It's like he was holding on to be able to relay this message to Otis or whoever would maybe come upon this place. You watch as his body starts to kind of relax from the tension, and his other hand, so he's gripping Otis with one hand and it kind of drops to the ground with a loud thud. The other hand is in a fist and it opens up, and there is a shiny in his hand, but it's not just a shiny. This is a large shard of some sort of a gemstone or a rock. It has a sort of familiarity to it. A familiarity in the sense that the coloration is very similar to the shiny that you wear around your neck. You notice that immediately, even if the others don't see it happen.
Ooh, the shiny of, ooh. I'm gonna reach out and grab it.
It is too large for you to carry.
Oh,
It's a giant shiny.
And it's heavy.
As the giant is speaking, Bull says, "What's your name, brother, so that I can tell your family?"
Hrothgard! My name is Hrothgard!
ask him where he got the shiny.
You must take this. Take this. Find the tablet of Anam.
Oh, this tablet does seem important now. He keeps mentioning it.
He wants us to take the shiny. I think he's talking to me now.
Chonk, you go over to this thing as it's now like rolled out onto the ground, and you're like trying to figure out a way to like, how would I pick this up? It's like as big as you are, basically. You're like trying to find a way to pick it up.
And then Otis says, "What do we do? What do we to do with the tablet once we find it?"
Protect it. Keep it safe. Keep it secret. Bring our peoples together. Seek revenge. You better ask any other questions because I'm about to die horribly.
Where's the buffet?
We'll kill whoever did this to you in the name of Roger the Thirdland. A smidge raises his club in some solemn ceremony of memorial. I can see the fates of our people are in good hands with you.
Ask him where the buffet is.
It must be pretty strong to carry it. It's heavy.
And he fades. The life leaves his eye, and the fire in his eyes goes dark.
Never.
Dwarves, I should have known dwarves would be at the root of this.
And then he opens his eyes. What? I forgot to tell you.
Kneeling on my spleen. It hurts.
Bull will check all the other giants just to see if anyone else is alive. Since this guy was still.
I think we should make our way to the east as soon as possible. Nothing left for us here.
You look about, Bull and others, and you see that none of the other giants that lay strewn in this battlefield are alive. All of them deceased. It is like this Hrothgard spent every ounce of energy they had left to stay alive long enough to relay the message that they relayed. It is quiet here. You look about, you can see probably, well, all of you would notice this, but next to Hrothgard is a broken greatsword that looks exquisitely crafted, snapped, as it were, from some unknown force.
Must have been quite a contingent who came here and laid low our brothers and sisters.
He didn't mention anything besides humans and dwarves. They couldn't have done this, right? We should burn them before we go.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Proper.
Can we eat the dead humans?
We can eat the dead humans. Do you
Okay.
like the
Mitch has
spices?
already begun collecting body parts. Of course we eat the humans. Dumbass.
Can Bunker pick up that the shard?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, you could pick it up. It's definitely within your abilities to palm the shard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sniff it.
Smidge and Clarence will begin pulling bodies together, the giant kind,
Gotcha.
to start the process of constructing a pyre.
Okay.
We must burn our kin for the old laws, and we must make haste and kill your dwarves. He's in this like absolute rage. Clarence is kind of giving him the old
So you take some time to gather the bodies of your slain kin. Some of you gathering the bodies of their foes to cook and eat, to gather yourselves after another long day of journey. You finally arrived at this conclave to find it in utter ruins. The partygoers having been slain, a sizable, best you can tell, contingent of humans or humanoid littles have left. And based on the information that you were able to gather from Hrothgar before he fell to death and darkness, was that they went to the east and they stole an artifact that he and his companions were guarding, the tablet of Anam. And he also had this shard in his hand.
Never did discover the purpose of this conclave. Perhaps it is this iPad that is missing. This tablet.
As he takes a long draw from his bone pipe.
What do you suppose is in it? I mean, I thought I was coming here for recipes. I suppose there's ways to cook things in it. It's a relic. Those would be some great
You did
recipes.
say it's a relic. You're right, by God. Maybe they're old
Maybe in a
recipes.
cookbook.
Recipes written in runes.
You can only read and not out loud.
Runesipes.
If you think that
Recipes.
your PC may know what the tablet of Anam is, you can roll an intelligence check. But if you know that they don't know it, don't roll.
Otis,
You all may
I
have
might.
discovered by this time with Clarence.
Bunker has no idea. Chonk would not know either.
Otis,
Clarence really thinks he's smart, but he's proven, I mean, just very clearly a moron.
19.
Bull got a 12.
Okay.
He hadn't picked up on that.
All right. So I would say with that 19, because I was going to say it'd be a hard check, so 15 was the target. You know, let's see, what would you know with that? You would know the fact that Anam is, as mentioned earlier, the great creator of all worlds in the pantheon of the giants. That they in terms of the lore and the teachings that Otis might have been exposed to in his upbringing. Anam is the god that set the stage, that created the world and set the stage for all the other deities to be born and to live upon the earth in various forms. There is obviously a pantheon of giants, and Anam sits at the top of that pantheon. And these are like ancient teachings, not something that what we would consider to be these modern giants really even remember. These teachings are secretive, are held tightly amongst certain members of different tribes. But basically, the dogma is that giants are destined to rule the world, but they had a falling from that grace, falling from that place of preeminence, and that there is some teachings and some individuals who believe that there is the reign of giants will return at some point, and that's what you pick up with that 19.
We gotta get this book. This iPad.
Otis
It's not an iPad.
The tablet of runesipes.
Otis kind of relays the information with what he remembers or counts from his teachings with regards to what this tablet might be, how it may be critical to the success of the giants becoming prominent again in the world where they've kind of fell in the past. And maybe he says that the giants can do it better this time. They can potentially not just be these savage beasts that have destroyed everyone, but maybe we can do it better so that we can stay ahead of the, stay in the leadership position as opposed to probably destroying ourselves. So he says this to the group, and he looks specifically at Bunker when he actually is saying this.
That's quite a lot. I didn't deduce all of that from this.
Otis says we must go to the east. We must find this tablet, bring the shard. Wait, are we in Transformers here? Wait, we need to bring the shard with us to be able to potentially use this to unlock the key of the tablet as we are moving towards trying to save our race. That is what we're here. I think the conclave must have been to be able to discuss this, to be able to come to a conclusion as to how we as giants can move forward to do this.
Blah, blah, blah. Yes, whatever. What time does the revenge begin?
You actually have a shiny expert amongst you, so I'll take a closer look at the shiny and see what I can learn about it.
Bunker will just hand it right to him. Just drop it right in his hands.
And it drops right to the ground. Give me a dexterity roll, Chunk. This is going to be a normal roll.
I'm going to have to use my ventriloquism.
12 is your target.
Oh, I got a 10.
All right, so it drops onto your toe, and it does a 1 point of damage to your toe.
No.
Is it wait, time out. Is it a, wait. Is it an attack that would hit me?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to use my dodge.
Ah, okay. So you're going to dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
I love it. Very smart.
Yeah.
Way to look at your
And then
character
once
sheet.
I dodged out of the way, I'm going to take a real close look at it. And at the same time, while I'm examining it, I'm going to take my amulet, my shiny, and I'm going to touch it.
Touch the two together.
Big shiny.
Yep.
I have a need. A deep need for dwarf flesh. Pick up my
Sean.
beast.
Chunk, as you take your kobold-sized shard and touch it against the large shard that has been dropped in front of you, the two seem to almost be before you even touch them together. The one that's on the on your necklace sort of like extends itself as if they're being pulled together like magnetically, and it sort of like pulls towards it as you get closer. And when you touch them together, they almost have like an adhesion for a moment, like a magnetic adhesion. You can pull it away, but they seem to be interacting with each other somehow.
It's as if they know one another.
I'm gonna say, wow, if we release the demon, we get 3 wishes. or it eats us in 3 courses. I can never remember which.
Demon, you say?
I'm gonna look inside of the big shard and see if I see anything inside it.
You get right up next to it, put your face right on it, and all you see is rock. It's like this. It's kind of like this crimson hued rock. You can't see into it. It's not like a crystal where you can't see anything inside. It's just this large rock.
You feel.
I'm gonna say, hello, demon. It's Chunk.
Feel very moist, hot breath upon you, and a cloud of smoke, tobacco smoke, as you look, and Clarence is like right there. They almost like as if they know one another. They moved. What is it, little man?
Mike, yeah, I think you're scaring it.
Oh, right, very well.
I'm gonna put my necklace back on and say, well, my shiny has the soul of a demon inside of it. I believe this shiny has a bigger demon.
Clarence kind of backs up. Demon, you say?
Yeah. Demon. Just the soul of one.
I didn't know they had souls. Could it get out?
What?
Soul, the demon.
Yeah.
Could it escape? Kill us all in our sleep?
In the big shiny?
The one you've been carrying around.
Oh, the one I put it there.
What?
Yeah. So here's what happened. I'm glad you asked, because it's really a great story. I traveled to the 38th layer of hell. And I saw a great demon lord. And I said to myself, Chunk, you gotta kill the demon lord. So I figured, what's the best way? I know. I'll charge it with my spear. So I wanted to get a running start. So I went back to the 36th layer of hell to get a nice running start. And I started running. And I ran as fast as I could. And I got to the Demon Lord, and I realized I left my spear on the 36th level while I was limbering up.
Oh dear, that's
So
troubling.
so I ran back to the 36th level, and there was my spear, and I was tired from all the running, so I rested. And then I grabbed the spear.
Were there stairs between the levels?
Of course!
Like in a...
So I grabbed the spear again, and I charged him, ran as fast as I could. And I realized when I got there, I just ran right into him. I didn't put the spear like this, I just picked it up. So I ran back. Had to rest again. This time I ran with the spear out. And as I ran and ran, I thrust it right in his meaty
good show.
Lord parts.
Yes!
And the only thing left was this gem, shiny, lying on the ground. And so I wear it ever since. And here I still am, never killed. It protects me.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I don't know. So I think
Put some more tobacco in there.
this big shiny is a bigger demon lord, probably from the 41st level or so.
But why would the...
He looks at Otis.
Why would your brother Fire Giant be carrying around a giant demon lord in a gemstone?
Otis looks right at Clarence and goes, he has no idea what he's talking about.
I do. Maybe
I
he
don't know. It
snapped it with his
seems like he
spear.
does.
None.
He...
There's no such thing. There's no demon lords in there. He has no idea. There's no demon lord in his little shard that he's around his neck.
We don't know. Why did those two
I
come together
saw
like
the
that?
shard move to the bigger
I'm sure I
shard.
just made that up. Just right on the spot, just made it up.
Clarence is like on the edge of his seat, just bought in with Chunk.
So I think what we have to do is figure out how to release the demon lord. Imagine if we got our revenge by releasing the demon lord from the shiny, and we release it on all those humans and dwarves.
That is a good idea. Smidge, you will not be eating Mr. Chonk here. He's very clearly going to lead us to revenge against the thing that happened here.
Otis grabs his sword and says, maybe I release this demon lord on you, Chunk, if you don't stop.
I don't think you can do it that way. First of all, hitting shinies is rule number 1 of the kobold bylaws. Don't hit shinies with swords.
It's in the fine print.
Can you hit him with rocks?
No, that's rule 2.
Oh,
I don't know, but if you lead us to revenge against the dwarf kind, I will not eat your little man.
That sounds fair. That sounds fair.
Just go and seek our revenge.
Okay, Bunker, pick up the shiny,
where? What shiny?
the demon shiny.
Where? Oh, that one?
Yeah, pick up the
Oh,
shiny.
okay. I'll pick it up.
All right, let's go.
East. They said it was to the east.
And then I'll put it
Paul
back
is
down.
busy
Right, how to
tenderizing
release-
human meat right now, trying not to think about demons and rocks, and prepping some food for us to take on the road.
Yeah, you gather up supplies. You know, you're able to gather up body parts of slain foes and giants, if you will. They have meat on them. You gather up this large shiny, and sounds like Bunker is going to carry it.
I picked it up, and then when we start to leave, I'll drop it.
Oh, you have to keep the shiny safe.
What? What?
You have to keep the
Oh,
shiny
you want
safe.
to? Oh, you want to bring it? You want to bring it? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I'll pick it up again.
All right, so you do take it with you, which is nice. You
I'll
can
put
leave
it
it
in
behind, totally.
I'll put it in
It's a lot to
bag,
carry.
a pouch, and
Yeah, you find a large satchel to put it in. You're able to, if you would like, to scavenge some different clothing. There's not a whole lot for like armor and stuff like that. I mean, there is the armor, the plate armor that was on Hrothgard. You could probably find leathers, some crude leather armor if you wanted to do a wardrobe change. Maybe some boots and the such. Laying around, so there's some different things you could gather. Nothing super monumental or of great import aside from this large shard that you gather, and you begin to make your way east, as it were, finding your way down this worn trail that seems to be more heavily traveled than perhaps the trails that you've been traveling thus far in your journey to this place, as it descends towards a very distant valley far below. You travel through most of the remaining evening, take a rest perhaps, and then the next day continue on with an additional journey. Eventually, you come upon what appears to be a set of ruins that the trail passes through. There is a mountain stream that flows off to the side. You guess that these old ruins perhaps mark some historic boundary, maybe a point of strategic import to some long forgotten leader. You can tell from the distance that you're at, even, that the walls. There's walls of a crumbling gate. There are what appear to be 3 stone structures. 2 of them appear to be all but destroyed down to their foundations. But there's a 3rd that kind of looms precariously over a broken wall. And as you take a moment to observe this crumbling set of ruins, it's dead silent. But you can smell the distinct aroma of campfire and human and dwarven flesh.
Like cooked flesh?
No, fresh.
Fresh flesh.
Buffet.
Clarence will put his finger over Smidge's mouth, like as Smidge begins to. And Clarence gives him this just. Smidge's eyes kind of get big, like, he doesn't see that look from Clarence very often.
Oh. Something happened in Albert.
Do you believe that now might be an opportunity to begin to seek our revenge? I smell dwarf.
So I will bring your attention to a map that I have opened up in Owlbear Rodeo. I'm going to bring this up for our viewers as well. You are down in the lower right-hand corner. This is a map by Dyson Logos. So please go check out Dyson's map. Dyson Logos has an awesome Patreon, and they put out a lot of maps all the time. So very well known. Go check it out. All right, so you guys are down in this right-hand corner. You can see, don't worry about this stuff up here so much. These are parts of the tower, like the higher levels of the tower. If I'm here, let me ping this stuff up here. Basically, those are part of this tower here, if that makes sense. I just have them off to the side for now. So you see this scene before you, and the 4 of you, or 5 of you, I should say, 4.5. Are hanging out down here as you're walking down this trail. What would you like to do?
Is it dark? What time of day is it?
It is. It's probably like late afternoon at this point. There's still sunlight about, for sure.
Smidge just grabs his club, and you could just see him. He's about to burst with, anger, rage, as Clarence still kind of has his hand over his mouth, kind of reaching like.
Bunker, with the tact of passed down through generations of hill giants, just starts walking forward.
Okay. Go ahead and place your token at a reasonable location on the map.
Clarence will unclasp the battle axe and draw it quietly, or what he thinks is quietly, from
Okay.
its sheath on his back.
Okay. What about Bowl?
Bull will also move up to that edge of that ridge to look down at everything.
Okay. Yep. Chonk.
Well, I'm having a hard time figuring out which token is mine.
Oh, it's you know what? It's the little guy here that
Oh.
says Chonk.
Well, that makes
Weird, right?
Yeah,
That
isn't that
is-
funny?
God, that's strange.
something tells me I should cower behind her. I'm gonna do
Her with the manly beard.
Yeah.
that.
Sorry about that, Bull.
Yeah,
It's not gender appropriate, but it's all I
No.
had.
it's fine.
Sometimes a long beard on a woman is pretty good looking.
Not
Yep.
this time.
Yeah, I said sometimes.
All right, and Otis.
Otis he'll follow. Sword unsheathed, ready for seeing what's in these ruins. So he's basically ready to start swinging away.
Sure. So let me just orient you a little bit. Again, you're up on this sort of like little ridge line here. There is a very crumbled and broken what remains of a structure here. There is an old, I would say like wall here, stone wall that is in disrepair. The trail passes through here. It looks as though there was probably like an old portcullis maybe here, a second ruined structure here on this side. And then this here is the first level up in the corner here. This is the first level of a more intact structure that extends what looks to be probably, I don't know, being giants. You could probably stand and look inside the second level, where the walls are broken. And the second level is this up here, right here. This is the second level. And then there's a third level that's just above your heads, we'll say, that is right here. So we've got a couple of different floors to that intact structure. But for the moment, you walk forward, and that is when you hear a calamity begin. And I would like each of you to go ahead and roll some initiative for me as we kick this son of a gun into a conflict mode. Please go ahead and roll initiative, and I will ask for you for your rolls here in just a second. And remember, it's a D20 plus your dexterity. Yep. All right. So. Okay. Anything over 20? 15 to 20?
Chonk has a 15.
15 for Chonk.
I see
10 to 15? Okay. 5 to 10? Not great on the
7.
initiatives. Okay.
Bunker is 7.
Anyone else in that range? No. Okay. 7 for Bunker. Okay. I mean 0 to 5. How are we doing here?
Have
A 1. What is yours, Doc? 1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we'll go Bowl, and then we'll go Clarence and Smidge, and then we'll go Otis. All right. Okay, so Chonk, at the top of the order, as you're looking ahead, cowering perhaps behind Bowl, you look ahead and you spot some movement, a glint of something shiny, as is your intense perception would guide you towards, and you can see the glint of steel for just a second, and then it ducks back behind one of the walls. I would say that is probably, let me bring up the map here again. That is probably like right in this area here.
I am going to. I'm going to continue to cower where I am, but I'm going to take a closer, I'm going to see if I can see anything by examining where that glint came from a little more closely, looking in that direction a little more closely.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Yeah,
and this is going to be we'll call this a normal roll. 12
Are
is your
we
target.
elevated above this, Dave, or is that?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, slightly. That is
I got
tall
an
today.
8.
Absolutely. An 8. Okay. Yeah, you're not sure, but you know that there's somebody laying in wait.
So I'm gonna whisper then. Shinies at 516. Kobold clocks are different than yours.
Fair enough. All right. As you whisper this very important message to your companions that have probably never seen a timepiece in their life, a volley of arrows comes down upon the lot of you. Luckily, Chonk, you're cowering behind, so you'll have a little bit of a bonus to your advantage. I believe. What is it, Bull? A +1?
+1.
Plus
+1 to your AC.
Yep, to your AC. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and roll for the volley of arrows, and there are 5 volleys, one for each of you. So we'll start with Chonk. Chonk, that is going to be a total of 11 to hit.
I get +1 to my AC, you said?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, then I missed.
It misses you?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Because
All right,
of the +1?
Because of the plus.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
awesome. That's
Yes.
cool. So that worked out. Awesome. All right, Bunker, this one's coming for you. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that hit.
Yep.
Wait, what kind of
What's that?
damage?
The kind that hurts. Arrows. Arrows are.
Are they considered
fine.
stabbing or not?
Piercing.
Yeah, piercing. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. And then, I take half damage then.
Half damage. Okay, well that's good because this is quite a bit. So I rolled 11 points of damage. You will take half of that.
So round up or
Round
down?
down. Round down. 5. Yep.
There's a delay as they all stick into me, and I go, ow!
All right. The next one is coming for a Bull. That is not going to hit. That's a 7. Clarence and Smidge. That is not going to hit. That is a 5. And Otis. Change up dice here. That is a 14.
15's AC.
All right. So they
Nice.
shower down upon you. You're able to avoid taking much damage aside from your hill giant companion. And you all know, based on just being present, that volley of arrows came from this location, somewhere behind this wall. That brings us to Bunker. It's your turn, buddy. What do you want to do?
Oh! I'm going to take one of my rocks, and I'm going to hurl it right at that where all those arrows came from.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
Okay. Okay, so just a question on my attack says thrown +0 depends. Depends on what?
Thrown +0.
Oh, that's what you're wearing.
Yeah.
I have that too, though.
Yeah. It's going to be whatever's on there, +0. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So in this case, it does not depend. Okay.
I probably had some.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
D6.
Damn. All right.
Oh my God. Do you want me to take a picture of this? I rolled a 6 on my D6. +2, 8. I can double that. Right? For that 20?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I choose to double that. So 12 or 6.
It's just the double dice,
Okay,
and then
12.
you add
So 12, 14 total.
14 total. Got it.
Pancakes
14
are back on the
total.
menu.
Holy shit. Okay. Yep. So you hurl this rock, and it smashes into this broken wall this broken stone wall, and the wall just explodes as it's obliterated. And you can see that you can hear shouts of in a language you don't understand as individuals scatter about behind it. You can see that there are bodies that have been crushed by the debris as it fell, as the boulder that you throw just kind of rolls off behind it. You have opened up a viewing opportunity here, and I will modify the map here so you can see what's going on. There is this icon will represent a troop, what I'm calling minion combat squads, that are hiding behind the wall, or were hiding behind the wall. Great one. Bunker, do you want to move at all, or do you want to stay where you are?
If I move up, would I be able to, because I'll be kind of stepping down, right, as I go forward?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able, does it look like if I got down there, I'd be able to reach up to that? They're like at a second level.
Go ahead and ping on the map what you're talking about, so I know where you're trying to get to.
How do you ping an owlbear?
There's a little teardrop over on the right-hand side. It's called a pointer. You can press the Q button to hotkey it as well.
Are these
And then
5
you just-
foot squares?
Yeah, approximately. What do you got, Carl? Where are you trying to get to?
Where those swords are. I'm trying to ping.
Yeah, you can get down close. Sure, you can get right up here.
But
it
looks like I could reach it with my club if I got up close.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I was going for. So, okay.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Bowl, what do you want to do?
Bull wants to get down in the fray, but Bull knows that she's protecting the kobold that may or may not have like some kind of like special demon in. Also juicy looking toes. So she would like to try to reach down and grab the kobold, tuck him under her arm, and run down there like they're a football. They're not that small, but keep him with her so he's not going to take another hit, and run down to like right down next to Bunker.
Bunker. I have Macron over the U.
I don't know how much of this I can do in one turn. I would like to take a swing too, but I want to
So
put.
you already made an action
down again. Is picking up and putting down a kobold in action?
No, we'll call it a free action.
So I'd pick him up and put him down right there, and then if I can take a swing. Actually, I need to probably go there and take a swing at whatever this is behind here, the troops.
Sure. Yeah, please go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right, that's 10.
You smash down your weapon as these soldiers or guards are scattering, and you miss. Clarence and Smidge.
So I think that they will grab a boulder, and I'm exactly 60 feet from that. Actually, he'll step up a little bit. How much movement do we have?
Roughly 30 feet, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, whoops, hang on. I got to get my grabber.
You can just kind of tell me where would you like to go, and I can tell you if it's reasonable or not. But you'll know.
30s right there. And
I wouldn't worry. You can get up to the wall.
Okay. He's going to throw his boulder at that icon.
Okay. You're going to pick up a boulder and
just
hurl it?
Rock and throw it.
Sure. Yeah, there's plenty of rocks laying around from the wall and otherwise.
And that's a 1.
A 1?
Yeah. I rolled
Give me a
-2.
D6 roll. 1 through 3 is bad. 4, 5, 6 is worse.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay, so you drop it on your foot and take. Give me a D4 roll. Slips out of your hand.
Don't.
Who was throwing it? Clarence or Smidge?
Smidge. He's all just enraged.
Yeah, he drops it on Clarence's foot for 4 points of damage.
Oh, no.
Clarence will just. I can't believe they did this again. You fool! Imbecile! Smidge
Right.
is like,
Very.
All right, that's Clarence and Smidge's eventful turn. Let's dive over to Otis next. What do you want to do, Otis?
He will come up to the wall next to Bull and use his greatsword.
Okay.
7.
Doesn't sound good. A
7.
7?
Oh man.
7 misses, dude. He looks good, but
Anything. I cannot. I have
he's got to be more than just good looks, this guy.
No.
Sometimes that's
He's
all
hot.
you need.
He's very hot, let's be
I've even
honest.
changed dice 3 times.
Yeah, well, try again, I guess. All right, so that is your turn, Otis. You swing, and you also see that there is what appears to be the leader of this group that is standing there as well, gathering themselves back up as the chaos has ensued and the combat has started. Chonk, we're back at the top of the order. What do you want to do?
So there's no other troops that we see.
You could try to do some investigation. It would take your action, and you would probably need to move. Your vision is really obscured by 3 massive giants that are in your way.
How tall is the wall?
The wall is over your head. It's probably a good, 12 feet tall, but there's broken parts of it. So like right in front of where Bunker is and Bowl, there's a it's been totally demolished. So you could potentially see through that.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Like right over here, you mean? Oh no, you mean right over.
Well, there's like right in here, but also right in, you could sneak over here as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to see if I can see anyone else, see other troops.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check. This is going to be we'll call this a normal check. So 12 is what your target is.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Wisdom. I got a 15.
15. Okay. So you do in the second story of the tower that's intact. You see that there is another set of troops that are pulling bowstrings back. So that is up here on this part of the map, guys, up at the top of the map, which is actually the second level of this, which is at eye level for giants, basically.
Can I duck back behind the wall?
Yes, you can, and that'll be your turn. That brings us to them. So let's see. There's not many of them left in this group. So we'll start with the combat squads. The one that's right here. They are gathering themselves together, and they are moving away as they fire arrows. And they will only get 1 volley of arrows off. And it looks like it's probably going to be at Bowl, since Bowl is right there where the opening is. So Bowl, this is coming at you. That is going to be, it's only a 9 to hit. I don't think that hits you, does it?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, that misses. There is then another volley that comes from the second story of this tower, and there's going to be 1 for each of you. So we'll start with Chonk. Chonk, that is going to miss you with a 7. You're also actually, I'm going to roll that with disadvantage just to double check. Yep, that doesn't hit because you are kind of hiding behind a lot of stuff there. The others are a little bit more exposed. So Bunker, this one's for you. That's going to miss with a 2 on the die. Bowl, I just rolled an 18 plus, that's going to be 21 to hit, Bowl.
It hits, yep.
Okay, so that's going to be, yep.
It's always the cook.
8 points of damage as you get a volley of arrows into you. Clarence and Smidge, that's a 3, that's going to miss. And Otis, that's a 2, that's going to miss. So a lot of misses here. At this point, a heroic leader of the group runs out towards you and says, to me, and is going to attempt to attack Otis. Let's see, let me bring that up here. This is our fighter, and they have a longsword that they are wielding. So here we go, longsword attack. That is only an 8, as you easily swat their longsword out of the way. They only have the 1 attack, so that is their turn. It is now Bunker. It's your turn.
As those guys were withdrawing, any Can I reach any of them with my club?
Nope. I mean, you could give chase. You can hop over that wall and chase them.
Can I throw a rock at him?
You could try to throw a rock at him as well.
I'll throw another rock. Come back. Hey! Aha! There's a 3 hit.
No, the rock sails wide as they are
Could you
scrambling
double check?
to load another arrow, another arrow in their on their strings.
You want to
Do you wanna
double
move?
check and make sure?
I triple check. Do you want to move at all?
Okay. Well, they're yeah. I'm gonna go. Got
Those
someone here to
minions.
squish.
Humans and dwarves.
Yes. Yep. A mixed group of humans and dwarves. All right, so that's Bunker. Bull, it's your turn.
Okay, so just to clarify, they are in the second story of this building right here, correct?
Yep.
And I can reach it with my sword, standing at my full height.
You could. Yep.
All right, I'm going to then run over there.
Okay.
They all have bows out, right?
The ones that you're looking at eye to eye have bows, and they're loading arrows and getting ready to pull back towards you as you're chasing up to the tower. Absolutely.
Can I get up there and just like throw myself on all of them?
You would have to climb through a very small opening. If you look at the map segment to the north here, this is what you're looking at essentially. And so
right.
Crawling in there might be tough. You could certainly try if you want to try to. Go ahead and make a give me a strength check.
This is stupid. I'm doing it though. 20, dirty.
Yep, that'll definitely work. So you start to scramble into that space, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna just move you up here so that we can kind of keep track of where you're at. But you're sort of like climbing into the space.
Okay.
That'll
I'm
be your
looking to
action.
disrupt the arrows, basically. But
Absolutely, you're definitely blocking their aim on anything else besides you. So that's good.
cool.
All right, so that was Bull. Now it's Clarence and Smidge. What's up, Lee? Welcome.
How many are in a group of these minions?
Which one? Oh, well, the only minions that you can see right now are right here, and it looks to be, well, give me an intelligence check. Who's making the check? Is it Clarence or Smidge?
Clarence is definitely the tactical.
Sure. So it'll be a normal roll for Clarence.
4.
They're moving around and they're scurrying about. It's hard to tell. They look like rats to you, just
Okay. So he's
scouring
gonna run
over each other.
Is it possible for him to get over here and get a swing on this fighter guy?
Absolutely. Yep. You can get in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just actually read my character sheet and realized I get 2 attacks, 1 per arm. So I'm going to swing with my battle axe, Clarence. Oh, it is time to kill this fighter. And that's a 12.
A 12 against this guy. Let me bring that up. A 12 does not hit.
Okay. And then Smidge is just like spitting and spluttering, swinging wildly with his nasty spiked club. Oh, sweet revenge for our fallen brothers. That's a 22.
That will hit.
D8, that's a 2.
2 points of damage.
Yeah. There's no damage mods, right?
Nope. Not unless there's something that explicitly calls it out on your character sheet. So you do 2 points of damage, and that was with which weapon?
The great club, the spiked club.
Yeah, you slam it down, and it catches this fighter, and he sort of like tumbles with it, rolls, and gets back up on his feet, but he looks as though his armor has been severely impaired. That is your turn. Otis, what would you like to do?
Otis is going to move up to the one up here that Bull was going after, and he will take a swing.
You cannot, unfortunately. As you get up there, you don't have an attack on anything there. Any individuals, I should say.
So this guy's not there?
You don't have an attack on that guy.
I'm in the way. I'm climbing up.
Your companion is like inside this wall segment, so you can't even see them. You just see Bull's ass.
Would I have known that before I go?
Big
up there?
curvy, huh?
Would I have known that before I go up there?
I think so.
All right, so maybe I won't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You would have
So
just
how
seen
about-
giant blue ass.
Is this guy?
I'll say this. Let me just quickly offer this up, just for help you make your decision. You could potentially take an attack on the structure to open up an opportunity to look inside, if that's of importance to you.
Like the building.
Yep, you can. The way that I've put this together is that there is a structural durability rating to these structures. They can be impacted by your actions for sure, just like that wall was earlier with the boulder.
Understood. And then there's this spider, and there's still the group beyond it. So meaning there's still two other ones that are closer. I'm
not sure what you mean exactly, but you've got there's a hero here.
Yep.
There is a combat squad of minions here, and then presumably there's another group that Bull is climbing in to engage with.
I'm gonna attack the combat squad.
Yeah, you can just like kind of throw yourself over this wall and close the distance as they're loading arrows. Go ahead and make an attack.
Sounds good. I am going to use Avery in our Shadowdark chat. 12.
A 12 is going to hit.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Digital
Very
dice
nice.
success.
Oh, now you like the digital dice.
Now I like it, yeah.
Yeah, I see how it works.
9 points.
9 points damage. All right, and you're swinging with your greatsword.
Yep.
Yeah, these there's 6 archers that are lining up, drawing back, sweat dripping down, breathing heavy, trying to hold their aim, and you come in and you just cut them all in half as they die a horrible death. Their blood sprayed upon the ground. And that is your turn. So that brings us back to Chonk.
Oh dear. So the hero looks like he's pretty busy with 2 giants.
He is.
Can I attack him?
You can, absolutely. You can attack him.
I'm gonna do it like I did with the demon. I'm gonna get a running start, but I'm gonna level the spear and I'm gonna go back.
And then you got to run back and get your spear, and then you're gonna.
This time I'm thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got a 19.
A 19 hits.
Prepare to be dazzled, Mr. Hero. 2.
2 points damage on our hero. Okay. You run him through with the spear. He doesn't die, but he and then he reaches down with one hand and grabs the spear and looks at you in the eyes. And it looks to be a combination of fear and rage.
Rage.
Am I the fear?
Yeah, your reflection is the fearful part. All right, so that is okay. That comes to their turn. Here we go. So a couple things happen at this point. The music changes, just because.
Whoa.
Don't worry about that. Let's start at the top of the screen here with Bull. Bull, there is, as you scramble in, you can see that there is not only a squad of archers, but also a leader of the archers, another hero that appears in the lineup as well. And they all take aim on you as your face scrambles in and are going to take a shot. This could potentially be really bad for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is a full squad. This is squad number, there's a number on it. I can't remember what it is, but 4. This is squad 4. All right. So they are going to get an attack on you. And it is with, that is going to be an 11.
No.
So they colossally miss as they fire, scared as you're scrambling in. But we are going to allow the leader to take a shot, and they are going to do so. So where is their stat block? Here we go. All right. with a longbow. That's going to be a 17.
That hits.
17 hits. All right, so that's D8 longbow. How many hit points does Bull have left?
7.
Okay, well, bring it down to 3 because you just took 4 points of damage as their leader kind of comes over the top of these scared archers, says, "Hold yourselves still!" And he fires off and it hits you like right in the cheek. So you've got an arrow stuck through your mouth into your cheek and tongue. So that happens there.
Not the palate.
Yeah,
My taste
that's
buds.
right. That's right.
It's fine.
My weakness.
Let's do this. Another combat squad after the hero that's fighting Clarence and Smidge and Chonk and Bunker. He says, to me, another group of approximately 20 minions comes running out to attack Clarence and Smidge. They are going to make that attack. Swords and spears and the like. That is going to be a 17 as well.
That's a hit.
Okay, so that's going to be some damage. 9 points of damage, Clarence and Smidge, as they come in strong with an attack. The hero here, Sir Holmfast, I guess is his name, is going to, with one hand, rip Chonk's spear from him, and with the other hand, he's going to lash forward to defend himself against Bunker. And is going to miss with a 5 on the die as he is severely impaired. Otis, as you stand over the bodies of these minions that you just completely obliterated and cut in half, you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand on end as a magical essence begins to swirl about the space. And there is, from a concealed location that you might see if you scan around the map here. I'm not going to tell you where, but some people might see it. There is a magic user, a conjurer, as it were, that is going to attempt to fire a Eldritch Blast in your direction. And they get, there we go. That's an 18. That's going to hit. Yep. They get advantage on that. All right. Still an 18. So that is going to do damage to you, sir. It's 4 points of damage to Otis as a burst of arcane injury flies from the tower and hits you. That is, I think, that's their turn. Yep, that is the end of their turn. That brings us to Bunker.
Bunker's going to do his signature move, squash human with club.
I love it. Which human? The hero that's in front of you?
Doesn't matter with that roll. That's a nat 1.
Oh, give me a D6 roll. 1 through 3 is bad. 4, 5, 6 is worse.
No.
Crap.
Shadowdark.
6.
Oh no. Okay.
Pages of death.
So you swing your weapon, and you don't hit the hero, but you do hit one of your companions.
Oh God.
Give me another D6 roll. 1 through 3, it's Clarence and let's go 1 through 4, it's Clarence and Smidge, and 5, 6, it's Chonk. There's a size proportion here. You don't want to roll 5, 6. Let's be honest.
4.
Okay, so you roll damage as you hit Clarence and Smidge.
Should I see which one I hit?
You can choose. I'll let you choose which one you hit.
1 to 3 is Clarence.
Well,
I hit Smidge. I hit Smidge.
Oh, not Smidge.
Uh-oh.
Friendly fire is always an option.
Oh God. I'm apologizing in advance for this.
You're like the worst Giants John could have played.
How much damage, Bunker? 7 points of damage to Clarence and Smidge.
Oh my God, I'm down.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Okay, Clarence and Smidge go down. Now here's how this works. When you go to 0 or below 0, you're at 0 hit points. I am going to roll a d4 and not tell you the number that's on the die. Nobody knows except for me. And what's your Constitution bonus,
+2.
Clarence? +2. All right.
Yay, giant
So-
life.
Giants, baby. Okay, so I gotta use a different die.
Okay.
It's hard to see. Okay, so you're dying. You go down and you are dying.
Okay.
Bunker, that's your turn. Do you want to move at all?
No, I want to squash this guy. He just hurt my friend.
All right, we'll go to
With
Bull
my
next.
club.
You have to wait till next turn, but noted. Bull, what do you want to do?
I'm so sorry, Scott.
Bull, if Bull can get up and be standing, Bull would just like to rush and knock everybody down with her bulk.
I would say you're probably not able to stand. The way you how large you described your creature, you'd probably be on hands and knees, at least initially. I would say.
Can I?
So you could scramble into them and kind of push them. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
can I just,
matter.
like,
Either way, you
crawl
can
really
try
quick?
to. Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me an
Headbutt?
attack roll. Yep. Yep.
This
Just a
is
straight
ridiculous.
D20 on this.
Natural 20. Holy
Okay. Yeah,
crap.
you definitely do. So what's your intent? Is your intent to injure or to just push them aside, or what's the intent of this action?
My intent is to knock them all over so that they can't fire this round, and maybe next round. I don't know. I just
Okay.
want to knock them all over.
Yeah, you can do that. With a nat
Disarm
20, you
them?
can knock them all over.
Can I
they're
knock
all-
anyone off the top of the tower? Are there any
Yeah,
openings there?
absolutely. Go ahead and give me a damage roll.
Like
This would be an unarmed
for-
strike.
Okay. Max 9.
9? Okay, so yeah, 9 of them, you just come in with one big swoop of your arm and you push them out the side of the building. So they go falling down and take damage. 9 of them do. Okay,
Clutch
very
dice.
cool. Very, very cool. All right, so that's Bull's turn. Now it's
What
Clarence and
happened to the
Smidge.
hero? What happened to the hero?
Hero's still there.
He's still
Hero's, yep, he's still up. Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Clarence and Smidge, you're dying. What thoughts go in front of your mind as you
They're
are
arguing.
laying there?
This is your fault. I say if you'd hit better, you moron.
Yeah, they're just arguing.
Understood. That's amazing. All right, so so your ticker goes down by 1.
Yep.
As you're dying. Yep. Okay. All right, so then it comes to Otis. I will remind you guys really quick, sorry, Doc, but I'll remind you guys that you can attempt to stabilize companions by making an intelligence check and beating a 15.
That's what Otis is going to do.
Okay.
So he's going to come over.
And I will also, sorry, Doc, I keep cutting you off and I apologize, but this is important. I want to make sure that folks realize that we do have the ability for the chat to donate bits to grant advantages to players. So that might be something to think about from the chat. But yes, you can go ahead and make that roll.
That does seem like something we should consider.
It's not a bad option if you can garner the.
Can we also grant disadvantage to the DM?
If I have,
I'm already at disadvantage just having you in this game, Carl.
Oh,
fair,
You're so
How do I take
fair
that?
statement.
Both of you? Really?
So go ahead, Doc. If you'd like to go ahead and make that roll, please do.
18 in the Shadowdark chat roll.
Wow!
digital dice. Woo, woo, woo.
Ellie loves the digital dice. All right, so so I will go ahead and take this. As far as you can tell, what does it look like? How are you stabilizing your companion?
He looks at the guys. They're down, and he will he on it kind of a. Is there a major wound to the?
Yeah, for sure. There's an obvious wound. Absolutely.
So he'll yeah. So he'll
Yeah, they're shaped oddly like Bunker's weapon.
Yep.
Those kind of wounds.
Yeah. So he'll take like one of the kind of in his pouch that he'll have on the side that he'll have a little like a rag or whatnot that he took from back when they were at the conclave, and he'll kind of tie tie it around, pack it, etc., and trying to stop the bleeding.
Okay, and you do for the most part stop the bleeding. You can see the labored rise and fall of Clarence and Smidge's chest, so you know that they didn't. They're not dead, but they're not in a good place, and they do remain unconscious at this time. Good one though. That was really good. Chonk, we're back up to the top of the order. What do you want to do, Chonk?
Well,
Thanks, Doc.
you
That was
said
clutch.
do I still have my spear, or did that?
Yeah, he just kind of ripped it out of his wound, so you still have it in your hands. Yep.
Good. So I'm gonna hit him again.
Yeah. Smart.
I'm gonna hit him again. Does a 3 hit?
No, I'm so sorry. It does not.
Oh.
It misses as he, with his blade, he just swings and knocks the spear away from him.
Ow, you're pretty good.
Do you want to move at all?
Does he get a hit on me if I move?
No, there's no attacks of opportunity in this game.
And yes, I do. Let's see. Can I move behind Doc's character?
Absolutely.
Or, you know what? I don't have to move that far. I can move right here.
Yeah, that's
You're in the
absolutely
fart zone.
within the distance.
In the fart zone.
Hopefully,
All
you
right.
can plus 20.
That was Chonk's turn, so now it is their turn. I'm going to say those that are still up in the tower that didn't get knocked out of the tower by Bowl are going to sort of pull back a little bit. They're going to scramble on their hands and knees to get out of range. They are going to go ahead and they are going to get an attack though as they turn with their bows to shoot at Bowl. There's fewer of them, so let me just double check here. The number of minions within each combat squad does have an impact on their ability to hit for sure. So let's go. That's going to miss. They miss. They fire blindly as they're retreating. However, Eidwald is going to take a shot. We have a hero here that's going to take a quick shot. Eidwald, what do you got here? That is only a 12.
Oh, yay. No, that doesn't hit.
Misses. Absolutely
That's
misses.
going to be the end of me for sure.
Yep. Let's see. We have down here, Sir Holmfast is going to make an attack at Bunker with his sword. That's a 15, Bunker.
Nope.
Misses. Awesome. And then the squad behind Smidge and Clarence is going to move into position and try to attack Otis. Hey, thank you, Chonk. You have an advantage for your next round. Thank you, Lee. That was from Lee.
Oh yeah, thank you, Lee.
All right, so this attack is on Otis. That is a 17, Otis.
That hits.
Yep, and this is a full squad. They haven't been hit yet. That is 9 points of damage as they plunge spears and slash with swords against you. Probably as you are attending to Clarence and Smidge, they come up and cheap shot you, which is pretty rude. I'm going to go ahead and roll for our. Our mage to fire another Eldritch Blast. And that's an 18 on the die plus their stuff, so that's definitely going to go ahead and hit. I'm going to see who is it going to hit. Looks like it's going to hit Bunker. Bunker, you are going to take total of... they get advantage. We'll just see if they get it. Nope. All right, so you're going to take... You're going to take 2 points of damage, Bunker, of magical Eldritch Blasting energy. That brings us to Bunker. It's your turn.
Was that magical stabbing or cutting damage, by the way?
It wasn't, but I will say that you caught a flash of the energy bolt as it shot from the main tower, and they are on the level above where Bull's ass and legs are hanging out of.
I note that as I squish a lot here, without rolling a 1 this time, hopefully. That's a 19. Not quite the other extreme, but...
Yeah, get the hell away from me.
And remind me who you're attacking?
Sir...
okay, the hero. Yep,
the
all right.
hero.
Yep, go ahead and roll damage.
4 plus 3, 7.
Yes. Describe how Sir Holmfast goes down.
Nice.
However tall he is, he's now half that height because I just straight down on top of his head.
Nice.
There's a lot of bone crunching.
Signature move.
Hit him with
Yes.
your Acme
Signature
club.
Yes.
He goes down. All right. Do you want to move at all?
Oh, I will go to me with my free action, and then I will move over to flanking.
Okay.
Squish these little squishies.
All right. That brings us to Bull.
Bull's gonna keep doing this. She imagines that she looks like a fearsome sight right now with like a spear through her face and wherever else she took it. So she's gonna continue to like take her momentum forward and like crawl with the intent to smash the group down again, specifically the leader. Can I push him over the edge? It looks like there's an
You
opening.
can make an attack
in the
on him.
back
Sure.
there?
Go ahead and roll an
Okay.
attack. And then we'll sort of see what happens. Good
Okay.
to know what the intent is, though.
Oh dear. That's an unarmed, so that's 6.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah.
He
okay.
steps out of the way as you reach forward with your big giant hand and try to like punch him or knock him back. He sidesteps and takes aim at you. That's your turn, Bull. Clarence and Smidge, you are unconscious, unfortunately.
I just want to point something out. Last time I played Shadowdark with Carl,
Mhm.
his character ate mine.
Well, he might this time too.
I
You
thought
were
that was a
full-
Wisconsin thing.
You were full of bacon. In my defense, I was a werewolf, and you were
That's
full
true.
of bacon.
That is true.
Fair.
It's a
All right,
Lake Geneva
that's fair.
thing. Yep. All right. So I apologize, but Clarence and Smidge, you're sort of out of this for the moment.
Yes, no,
Um,
that's fine.
Otis, you just got attacked as you kind of turn from Clarence and Smidge with them being, as best you can tell, stabilized. What would you like to do?
He's going to go after that group that's that band that's right next to him. that
Okay.
just attacked him.
Absolutely. That's the practical thing to do, I think.
And he's going to do his roller. That is a 10.
10 is not going to hit them as they duck out of the way and maneuver. You can tell that they're well trained. You also know as you take sort of a better look at them that some of them are carrying shields that have that lion motif on it as well. Yep.
You knew it.
Back to Chonk,
Hate those.
still alive. Chonk is still alive. I'm impressed.
Don't sound so surprised.
Conclaves.
I want to go to this. Let's see if I can ping. Can I make it to the doorway here? I can't ping.
Yep. It will take. We'll say it would take your action to get there, just because it's a little
Okay.
bit far. Yep.
That's
And
what I'm.
you're talking about this door over here.
Yeah, I am. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go right there. Whoops! I don't know what I just did.
I got you. Don't worry about it. There we go.
I started moving the dead guy. I'm gonna
Yep.
go right there.
And the door is open because this combat squad came running out. The door is wide open as you look inside. It's just this destroyed interior of a once probably very wonderfully built structure. It looks extremely old, best you can tell. But you do see, some broken furniture. It looks as though there was a fire off to the side that they were burning, and there are stairs here that go up that are still somewhat. They look to be relatively intact, best you can tell.
And I don't see any more squads here.
You don't see any other squads in here, but you hear combat above you, and you can also see that the structure is kind of shaking above you, and dust is kind of like falling down from the ceiling as there's a giant on the second story crawling around of this rather, how shall we say, precariously constructed, ruined structure. That's your turn, Chonk. That brings us to them. Let's start down here on the bottom half of the screen here. We've got Bunker and Otis. Otis, give me a D6 roll. 1 through 3, they're going to attack you, Doc. 4, 5, 6 are going to attack Bunker.
Bunker.
Five. Okay, so they're going to attack Bunker. And this is 3. These guys haven't been hurt yet, you guys. What the hell? That's not good. All right, so they're going to attack Bunker. Bunker, that's going to be a 17 this time to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
This is going to hurt, but you'll take half damage because it's going to be stabby stuff. That's going to be 11 points of damage. So 5 reduced to 5.
Bunker's still standing.
All right, so that's
Better than he
happening.
ever did.
Can I
Then we'll
bleed
go-
on them?
We'll go over here to the top of the screen with Bull in a precarious situation. These groups move back, draw what's left of them, draw their arrow strings back to fire. So Bull, they're going to fire at you, and there are okay. That's going to be a 16 to hit, Bull.
That hits.
Okay, so you are going to take. You're going to take 2 points of damage from the combat squad, and then Eidwald is going to just kind of step forward and just put it like almost like right up to your face and release the arrow into your face.
That seems bad.
Yeah, it seems rough. Eidwald, you son of a gun. And somehow they fail to hit because I rolled a 4, and that only brings them up to a 6 on the attack roll. So they horribly miss you. And let me just see, what's this last guy doing?
Bull has a thick hide, thick skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lots of holes in it though.
Currently perforated. Okay, so the mage is going to fire a shot down at Otis. Let's see if they can make this attack. And they get advantage. That is going to be a 19. Otis, unfortunately, you're going to take some damage here. Ooh,
Somebody
not
should kill
rolling
that
well
mage.
though. 3 points of damage, Otis.
We are
Eldritch blast damage.
still barely up.
Barely up. You should probably put these guys down. Luckily, that's the end of their turn, and it is Bunker's turn.
Good news, I'm undamaged.
You can tell the world a tale. Signature move on this. There's like a little group of them. I'm just, just one big whoosh.
Okay,
Splat.
let's do it.
That is a 14.
14 will hit. Roll damage. Nicely done. Let's reduce these guys down.
6 plus 3, 9.
9 points of damage. All right, yeah, you crush a bunch of these guys, and they just go down and just like jelly.
Jelly.
You want to move at all? Or you want to stay put?
Let's see. They're dead. I want to. If I move up to here, can I then see in? Can I then see into? Reach into?
You can see that there is a door. So if you go up to the top of the screen, Carl, and you look, so you're basically looking in right here. There is a stone platform here, and there is a closed door right here. It doesn't look very sturdy, let's be honest. The thing has been here, it's hanging on the hinges. But yes, you can get to that location to look in and see what's going on. I'm going to move you over here. But yeah, you can tell that there's something going on the other side of that door from the screams and the howls of pain and death.
Not from Bull.
We'll go next to.
I did take out that whole squad, right? Or are they still people there?
No, they're still up.
Oh,
they're
I thought they were. I'm sorry. I thought
No. That's okay. You can still. You already moved, so just we'll go with it. You walked away.
Eternal optimist.
Yeah. Puppy dog is wants your time, Carl. All right, so Bull, it comes to you.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You have pretty much you could crawl farther in to access the combat squad, or you could take us, or you'd have to decide who you're going to attack. But you could attack Eidwald, the hero, or you could attack the squad. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for the hero. He just tried to shoot me in the face. I can't back out at this point. I'm kind of like stuck in there.
You're so committed, yeah.
Yeah, with my,
You should go ahead
my
and
one
kill
hit
him.
point. Can I pull my meat tenderizer out in this small space then, or no?
It'd be really tough, I think. I
Okay.
think your best bet is probably an unarmed attack at this
Just
point. Yeah.
Keep swatting. Yep. All right.
Shoot the glass.
Unless, I guess I'd say unless you already had it like in your hand. If you already had it
didn't.
equipped.
No, I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
because I was climbing up and stuff. So
Yeah. Make it unarmed against Eidwald, the hero.
that's an 8.
That is not going to cut it, my friend.
Shoot.
The dice have abandoned you. Do you want to do anything else? Do you want to move?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can back out of
you
here.
you could try to extract yourself for sure. You could. It's totally up to you.
I will try to extract myself if I think I can.
You can.
Can I roll? Can I roll out the side? Like,
Sure.
does it look? It
Absolutely.
looks like it's kind of broken right there.
It is broken there. Absolutely, it's broken
right
there.
in that
Yep.
little spot right there.
Yep.
Okay.
You go ahead. You go head first and drop down.
Please say I don't
making
get
your
any
way out.
damage.
No, you know, it's really not. It's not like you're falling from a great distance. You're basically able to stand, you know, chest high to that platform there. So not a big deal there.
Okay.
But that's your turn.
Okay.
You want to say anything epic or do anything else?
Your toes are next.
There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, Clarence and Smidge, what are you guys doing?
We're laying there unconscious, still in turmoil, trying to assign blame for our current predicament.
Otis, you look down. You look at the combat squad in front of you. You look down at Clarence and Otis. It seems as though their both mouths are mumbling, even though they're unconscious. They're like groaning and mumbling, and Smidge has got spit spewing from his mouth and drool dripping down on the side. And then you've got this combat squad that looks like they're preparing to perforate you with spears. What do you want to do?
Go after the combat squad.
Yeah, do it.
6, that's 20 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage. Here we go.
8.
8 points of damage. Oh shit. Okay, so you obliterate most of the combat squad, but not all of them. But most of them are now laying on the ground after you swing your massive greatsword in their direction. Do you want to move at all, or do you want to stay put?
He'll move.
Okay.
So he's gonna move. How far onto the other side of the hut can I go?
Given that you've already taken an action, you can probably, if you stop moving your guy around, I'll move it for you.
Yeah.
You can probably get to about right there.
Okay, I'll go
Yep.
there.
And basically you're walking past Bunker.
Yep.
Bunker is like right here, essentially. Yep. Okay. All right. So that is Otis. Chonk, back to you. You're still alive somehow.
So did the squad not get killed by Clarence and Smidge?
Correct. I don't know. I'm not sure Chonk would know that though.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Did I see Bowl sort of roll out from where I am, or could I not see that either?
No, you would not be able to see that.
And I'm going to do what I was going to do anyway. How far up the stairs can I get?
I would say you can probably get to the next level for sure. Yeah. You want to go all the way up?
So I can only get to the next level. I can't get 2 levels up.
Correct.
Okay. So what I want to do is I don't want to go to the well. Yeah, I don't want to go all the way up. Like I don't want to go to the opening. Yeah. I want to get to where I can go and sort of see what I can see.
Okay. So I placed your token up on the top of the map screen now. So you're on the second level. You're in the stairs. You've come up the stairs and you're like right around the corner. You look into the space and you see a group of humans who are loading arrows. You see beyond them what appears to be a hero of some importance who is also knocking an arrow. What do you want to do?
Are they knocking at me, or are they knocking?
No, they don't know you're there. They don't know you're there right now. Nope.
Okay. So I just want to hide where I'm at. I just want to stay where I'm at, hide.
Okay.
So they don't
Do you
see
want
me.
to? Do you have any reason to utilize a special ability that you have to ensure that maybe your hiding is more successful?
Oh yeah, that's a yes. I do. I'm going to use that
And what ability is that, Chunk?
I'm going to use some ventriloquism, and I'm going to throw my voice to around the opening where Bowl had come, and I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm trying to help you."
All right, I love it. Ventriloquism for the win. Big shout out to all you ventriloquists out there. We know you're big fans, and we're fans of you. Okay, so that's your turn, Chonk. That brings us to their turn. We'll adjudicate what's going on up here on the top end of the map here first. We get this group of archers is going to get into position here. He's going to step into place as Bowl is attempting to extract themselves. You're kind of like standing back up, Bowl. They're going to take some shots at you. We'll go with the combat squad first. There's still a few left in this group, guys. I just rolled a natural 20. Unfortunately, for the combat squad. No, that's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the damage once and double it here.
I mean, I have 1 hit point left.
Why does
And I
this
rolled a 1. So you took 2 hit points. You go down.
Yeah.
What's your con?
+2.
+2? Okay. All right.
I think I'm brushing myself off from standing up, and I look up and I take a shot in the face.
Yep. And it hurts. It hurts real bad. Okay. So that is their shot. And we'll just say Hero Eidwald just kind of like looks down and gives them some moral support as they sort of refocus. Let's see, does he have a target anywhere else? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so they're good up there. We'll go ahead and have I'm gonna have the mage. The mage is gonna sort of walk back over here, look down, and all of you can hear them speaking in some uncommon language that you don't know, but they're communicating. You can hear the mage up above communicating down with the hero and the squad that's still there. And then we will go down to this group here at the bottom. There are 3 individuals left, 3 minions left in this squad. They are going to run and leave. As they leave the battlefield, having been somehow left by themselves as the rest of the giants paid them no mind. So they run away. That is their turn. Bunker, it's your turn.
Okay. I can now see that mage up there in that tower.
Let's see. From where you are,
Eldridge blasted me.
Let's see.
They hit me with
you probably could, as you would be looking up a little bit towards them. They're up on this sort of like broken, broken piece of rock right here.
Oh, we have magic too. Me cast Eldridge Rock.
All right.
That's a 17 hit?
Yes, the 17 does hit. Nicely done.
What's a rock? What's a rock? What's a rock?
Do you need some help?
I'm just looking for the damage. I forgot. It was 6, wasn't it? A D6?
D6.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. +2, because I'm throwing. 4 + 2, 6.
6 points of damage. I will add a little bit of flavor to this, but tell me what it looks like as you throw this rock and knock this individual off of the 3rd story.
Well, they hit me with their ouchie magic. I did not like that, so I threw a rock at them, and they're kind of like, hey, and then they catch the big rock with their face.
And they are thrown off of their location, and they drop to the ground right here, right behind Hero Eidwald, and land in a very horrific splat of blood and viscera. Nicely done. That brings us to, or Bunker, do you want to do any movement or anything, or what do you want to do after you kill this guy?
No, because I want to try to knock that door open next. So I might fart a little because that's just what I do. So.
Okay, Bull, we'll go to you. What is going on in your unconscious brain right now?
Bull is unaware of the pain all over her body. She's making bone marrow muffins aplenty, and it brings her joy.
Sounds delicious.
She's pulling them out of the oven. She's sniffing them. She's licking a few, she's baking.
Her happy place.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, great. We'll go next to Clarence and Smidge. How about you? We got 2 down.
Arguing. Yeah, unconscious, still arguing, twitching, laying there.
Yep. Scott, we'll go ahead and give you a luck point just for being so patient over there. Not that you can use it. And they do expire at the end of a session, so it really means nothing.
Oh, well, I was right there, but I'm like, oh.
Otis, what do you want to do, Otis? You just watched. I would say that's Otis. You just watched as Bunker flung this rock in and knocked this magic user off the top of the tower. What do you want to do?
That was pretty epic, by the way.
That was cool.
Otis is can he get to the other side of the building to stabilize?
Let's see. I don't know if you would know that Bowl is down, to be honest with you.
Okay.
From where you are right there.
Can he see through? Because he's technically here.
Yeah, let's just keep him up there. You're like right there. This door, as I mentioned before, is not well made or in really bad shape, but it's still blocking the view of what's going on inside.
All right.
Yep.
Bull's gonna try to smash open the door.
Yeah, you can climb up here and smash and push Bunker out of the way, out of the way, and go ahead and you can just go ahead and give me an attack roll.
12.
12. All right, and then roll damage. Roll unarmed damage to it. Or are you trying to smash it with your weapon?
Yeah, with my weapon.
All right, so go ahead and roll your weapon damage.
3 points.
3?
Yep.
All right, you slash at it, and because it's in such a disrepair, it just swings open and falls off the hinges, making a loud racket. And that's your turn to open that up. That brings us back to Chonk.
Well, Chonk is going to come in, and I'm going to yell, "You're next, human!" And I'm going to charge him with my spear and try to hit him.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll against Eidwald.
Does an 8 hit?
An 8 does not hit.
Oh, but he's scared, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's all I'm going to take.
No,
All right.
kobolds.
That is Chonk's turn. It is their turn now. With the racket of the door being knocked off its hinges, the sound of their companion, the magic user hero Isaac, having fallen and splattered across the ground, a high-pitched voice hurling threats of imminent danger. Both of these groups turn and unleash some shots on Chonk.
Uh-oh.
Chonk, you kind of got yourself into a rough spot here.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, so we'll go with the minion combat squad first, and they are wounded down, so they have a little bit of an 11.
Oh, that does hit.
An 11 hits.
Oh no,
It does.
Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and take.
So you know what? I'm going to use my dodge to dodge it.
Do you have a dodge, or did you already use it?
Huh?
Do you get multiple dodges? I don't remember.
I get once a day, but I thought traveling here it took us more than a day.
I think you used it earlier when someone almost dropped a rock on your toe. Was that in this combat or was that previous combat?
That was the shiny, right? He dropped the shiny.
Oh, that's right. Okay, great. So you can take your dodge. What does that do for you?
It allows me to dodge an attack that would have hit me. So he's like kind of Matrix style.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, all these arrows fly and you kind of like do that cool move and they miss you. Very good use of your dodge. I like that.
And I've got an advantage. If the hero is going to attack me, can I give you disadvantage with my advantage?
Sure.
Oh, I'm going to do that then.
Yep. In this case, I will allow it. All right. So he is going to take a shot at you at disadvantage. and miss with a 7. Fires wide. Let's see. That is their turn. I think that's it. Those guys ran away. So that brings us to Bunker.
Is anybody within club reach, or are they too far across the room?
They're too far across the room. Yeah.
Well, then I'll just have to throw a rock at them.
Yep.
I'm gonna. Oh wait. Where
You don't have a very good. Actually, a rock throw would not be a great attack for you right now because of the way the walls of this thing are. Now, that's not to say you couldn't attack the walls, but you don't have a great view of what's going on inside here. You do see through the open door that there are broken walls on the opposite side of the tower. If you wanted to use your action,
Can I move first?
You could go all the way around, but it would take your action to get there.
Could I then attack, or would that be my whole turn?
That would be your whole turn for this round.
I can't do much else. So
I'll say as you come around the corner,
oh,
right here, you see Bull is down, bleeding out.
Oh
no.
Don't worry. It's an intelligence to stabilize. Don't worry.
No.
Bunker's here.
Bunker's here to save you. For Bull, your timer ticks down towards imminent death.
Yep.
And then it is Clarence and Smidge. You're stabilized. Otis, you've knocked the door off the hinges. What do you want to do? Bob? Did Bob fall asleep? Oh, okay. All right.
It's all right. I'm gonna. I can make an attack on the archers. Can I?
From where you are, that would be pretty tough. This is a small opening. You could actually, you know what? Yeah, you could, because you could basically just kick through that wall there, and if it's a ranged attack, you could do that. You could do that.
I guess is there? I could do a boulder throw.
Could, which you haven't done yet, have you?
It's my move.
Giants love to throw boulders.
Yeah.
Why don't I do a boulder throw?
Yep. Just don't miss and hit chunk. That's all we hope.
All out of dodges.
Or Bull.
That's right. 15 hits.
Okay.
Are you attacking the hero, or are you attacking the combat squad?
I'm attacking the combat squad.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and roll damage.
6. 4 points.
4 points. All right. There's still some up, but you obliterate. A couple of them are just totally torn apart by the boulder as it shatters into the wall, sending rocks falling from the wall down on top of Bull, scattering little pebbles on Bull's body. That you're whittling these guys down, but they're not out yet. That brings us back to Chonk.
How's your moment?
This guy hasn't been hit at all, I don't think.
Correct.
Something epic would be in order
Use your legendary action.
for your lair action.
Later.
I think
Choose
what
your
I'm gonna
lair.
do is they're you know what? I'm gonna stab at this guy. Why not just stay here? No, I can't. Yeah,
Pretend he's a demon.
I'm gonna stab at him.
Okay.
How about a 13?
13 hits.
Oh,
That's good news.
That is good news.
well, he's in trouble now. So, 1.
1 point. Okay. It's nearly a flesh wound.
Hey, I'm right here.
Nearly a flesh wound. All right, that's Chonk's turn. This guy is going to draw his sword and step forward
He's got paper and pencil.
meet Chonk with an attack. And that is going to be a, hold on, let me bring up his stat block. That is going to be a 15 on the die. 15 hits. Yeah, this might kill you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I also rolled max damage, so 8 points of damage with the long sword.
That killed me 4 times over.
Yep. What's your con bonus?
What? A what?
Exactly. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
All right.
this
So
is a-
Chonk goes down. Oh my God. This guy is going to run past, and he is going to go down the stairs, and we'll say he is going to he'll kind of make it to the door. So that's somewhere, I think, over here. Let me just double check. Yeah. So he's like coming out the door on the ground level. So now you guys are all kind of on the same page here. That's his turn. Bunker, what do you want to do?
Well, Bunker, Bunker, having watched how Bull, healed Clarence and Smidge, he's going to run over to Bull and make an intelligence check to stabilize.
It takes a 15.
Sure, this will be fun.
I have a -3.
I love that dog so much.
Sorry, there's another dog walking outside.
We love it. Yep. You got to bark. You got to talk to him.
Distracts from the tension.
Come on, high roll.
15 is what you want.
Oh my God, 19 -3, 16.
Oh, shit.
God.
All right. So Bull is stabilized as Chonk. What does it look like when you stabilize Bull?
You mean Bunker?
Yeah, sorry, Bunker. What does it look like when you stabilize Bull?
So I'm like, and I just take like some cloth and I take a small pebble and I wrap around the pebble and the cloth and I start just dabbing and blotting and putting pressure and are you okay? Hello? Does that feel good?
I'd like to add that in my death vision, I was just starting to smell, I think, the beautiful smell of the cooked muffins. And I think you can see where this is going. It turns to a fart smell. And I'm coming back to life.
You bet.
Yep.
It's like smelling salts,
It's exactly like smelling sauce.
So it's enticing you back to reality with this smell.
Yes.
Bunker thinks he stabilized her, but really his BO shocked her into
So
stabilization.
gross. That is so gross. All right, so Bunker, that is your turn. You are successful. Bull, you're still unconscious, but no longer dying. Otis, it's your turn.
Dr. Bunker.
You watch this guy run as if he's trying to make an escape. What do you want to do?
Some hero he is.
And you also see Chonk bleeding out, by the way, inside the. I should not minimize the situation here. Chonk is bleeding out.
Yep. And there's the crew of archers is still there.
There is a small group of archers that is still there, reloading arrows.
Okay, and I'm close enough to take a swing.
You could definitely take a swing. Yep.
Or I also could stabilize my buddy.
You could try to stabilize your buddy.
All right, I'll try to stabilize my buddy.
Very cool. You need a 15 on an intelligence check.
Let's see. Okay, big virtual or roller roll.
Yeah, let's get a good roll here, Bob.
4.
I did it.
Okay. Yep. Doesn't help. You can see you're losing your companion as their breath is struggling. Their chest starts to fade in its movement. All right. So that's your turn. Chonk, what's going on in your mind's eye as you're dying?
Oh, he's lying there thinking, oh yeah, good idea, join a bunch of giants. Maybe next time pick some competent ones who can hit stuff instead of these idiots.
I love it.
Nice.
All right. Then that comes to the hero Eidwald. They are going to run this way and take a shot at Bunker. Bunker.
Hey!
Oh, sure.
Oh,
That's going to be a 21.
Dr. Bunker. Let me check my AC. Oh, yeah, that is.
Firing at the medic.
This is a puncturing wound. Oop, that's the
This
wrong.
is,
Cool.
this is against the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
1 point of damage. 1 point of damage as he hits you. These
Is it-
other,
Reduced by half to 0?
it'll still be. It's a minimum of 1. So yeah,
Okay.
reduced by
I
half to
am
1.
somehow. Whew, I'm still up.
This other group of, it looks like there are 7 archers still there trying to figure out what to do. They see Otis as the big problem here, obviously, so they're gonna take a shot at
Literally
Otis.
a big
He's a big
a
problem.
giant problem, and now we've gotten to the name of our game.
There we go. All right, so there are 7 of these guys left. That's a 7. They miss you, or they hit your armor, as it were. That brings us to Bunker.
Oh, God. Sorry, our dog just gave me a whiff of what Bunker smells like. Whoa.
Nice.
God, Ben, what did you...
You deserved it. Go ahead.
Thanks. All right, so Bull is stabilized?
As best you can tell.
With my medical rock? Okay, cool. But there's little puny people up there in that.
Yep, you just got poked with a sharp object from this guy to the south.
Poke them with my club.
Okay, so you're gonna race forward and take a swing.
Oh, I thought it was those guys up. Okay, it's that guy there. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was the guys on the second floor.
No, they're shooting at Otis.
Well then we're doing the signature move.
There we go.
Overhand. And that is another 19.
Yeah, that hits.
+3. So
that definitely hits.
Nice rat. But not the damage. 2
points of damage.
Yep.
Okay, he's still up. Hero Eidwald lives for another round.
Guessing his life choices.
Big time. All right, so that was Bunker. Bull, you're doing your thing. Otis.
Yep. Otis is going. I mean, he's got 2 options. One is get the archer crew or try to stabilize Chonk. And he's gonna try to stabilize Chonk again for a second time.
Okay. All you need is a 15 intelligence check.
1.
Yeah, Bunker can do it anyway.
A 1?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
As you are trying to save your friend, their timer ticks down by 1 extra.
Break a bone.
No.
Yeah, you cause more damage on a critical when you're trying to revive somebody.
You do this for a living?
Took an oath, Bob.
This is a fantasy world.
I hope art is not imitating life here.
And that's about it.
Lee just cheered some bits. I will say, Lee, if you want to give that to Otis, you could re-roll. I think that's prudent.
If Lee
It came in like exactly the same time.
Yeah, it did.
If Lee will do that, then I'll do it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
well,
Lee.
I think you should do that. Thank you, Lee. Go ahead and re-roll.
And it's a 6.
Thank you so much. A 6.
Oh no.
Wow.
The dice are fully in control of this narrative.
Yep. Dice.
Do damage.
Yep.
Dice
All right,
tell
so
me.
that doesn't
That was a
pan
great
out.
try, though.
Otis. That was a great try. Let's see. So that comes to them. All right, they're going to make another shot at Otis on the top level. The archers that are left, and God damn it, that is a 11. That's not going to hit you. And then Eidwald is going to take a few steps back and start to run, but then they're going to stop and take a shot with their bow at Bunker and miss with a 5. That brings us to Bunker. What do you want to do? Give chase?
Can I chase, can I reach him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's only like 10 feet away or 20 feet away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
you
leave
can-
the party so quick, pal.
There you go.
11?
11 doesn't hit.
Damn.
Yep, sorry about that. Well, Otis.
Yep. Otis is going to do another try on his compadre.
Okay.
He realizes that his shots are dwindling.
The likelihood is definitely being reduced every moment.
13.
13 doesn't cut it. All right, let's see. This is just a back and forth here. I'm going to go ahead and say at this point, because of time, we've already gone over quite a bit. I'm going to say this. You guys definitely have the upper hand here. Between Otis and Bunker, you guys are able to take out what's left of the archers on the upper level, and Eidwald, you're able to drop Eidwald. And in fact, I guess what I will say is that Eidwald goes down, Bunker, as you chase him down. But what I will say is these archers in the top level, they drop their weapons and they just kind of get down on their knees and they're like, "No, please have mercy, mercy. We were paid to be here. We were paid. The necromancer! It was the necromancer that hired us to steal your artifact. It wasn't our idea. We're just paid minions. And they sort of like get down and they're prostrating themselves before you, Otis. What do you want to do?
He is, and again, is Chonk stabilized or no?
You're not sure.
Okay. He will, he's gonna come up to them and say, who is the necromancer? Where is he? And how can we find him?
The necromancer comes even now to us. The Nightman cometh. And that's when the skies begin to darken above the scene. You can see this strange black fog and mist slowly creeps in, thunder, lightning. And you can see that, you can smell it. These humans, what's left of this small group, they piss themselves with fear. And they just lay on the ground in their own piss, and they are trembling as the skies darken, as the Nightman cometh. You look around, you see Chonk laying on the ground. What do you guys want to do? Let's go down the list. For those of you that are still conscious, Otis, what do you want to do? It is a short list.
Otis is gonna still try to revive Chonk one more time.
Okay, go ahead.
8.
No, it doesn't work. As you look at Chonk, you're like, I don't think this guy's alive anymore. It's not that obvious. Big old kobold tongue hanging out the side of his mouth. How about Bunker? After slaying this archer, this hero Idwald, the darkening skies coming down, what do you want to do?
So Bull's okay, and
I mean, unconscious, but you think stabilized?
This is fine.
This is fine. And what about same thing with Clarence and Smidge?
Clarence and Smidge, you believe you believe Clarence and Smidge are also stabilized.
Okay.
Fine.
I'm just gonna keep in character. I got no clue what's going on. I'm just gonna stand here and look around. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like there's a massive storm front that is quickly, almost unnaturally descending upon your location. And that, my friends, is where we will end our session. Maybe this is a one-shot. I don't know. But, things are not looking good as the darkness is descending. And you have, at least Otis, you have heard uttered from these cowering humans that the Nightman cometh. That they were hired by a dark necromancer to procure your artifact, which you still don't know where the artifact is. But the implication is that the Nightman was coming to collect what he paid them to do. And that's where I guess we'll pick up next time. we'll figure out how to come back from this one. Thank you everybody for playing and hanging out. That's very fun. Cool. Appreciate all you goofballs in the chat as well. It's possible, Lee, that maybe one of the human archers have some skill in first aid. We don't know. We'll have to talk to them. They're currently busy pissing themselves with fear.
Yeah, they all have wet pants.
Yeah, big time wet pants. All right, so here we go. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you joining in and helping out our heroes, our giant heroes, as they got themselves into a sticky situation. Thank you, players, for playing. We've got some great people here at this table that probably a lot of you know. If you don't know them, you should. Wiley Hobbit, you've got an awesome podcast out there that people should definitely be aware of. The Grey Cast, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think I even have somewhere in here, I've got a link to it. Let me find that. Here we go. And we've got Carl, Chris, Doc, and Shelly here. Awesome people. Hopefully you guys had a good time. And this was another brutal Shadowdark adventure, apparently. And ideally, this is a short shot or a one shot or a two shot that will be available for other people to play here in the not too distant future as we play test it a little bit more. Thank you all for hanging out. We're going to go ahead and raid into some of our friends here. and I'm going to find out who that is because I'm scrambling to sort of wind this down. But thank you all for being here. We really appreciate you, and we will see you next time. We'll be back here to play the second half of this adventure on March 8th, I believe is the date. So make sure you join us for that. We will be back here on Tuesday with Call of Cthulhu, and on Wednesday of next week with another episode of our House of Eidolons game. So lots going on, lots of ways to engage. Come on over to our Discord if you want to get involved with some of the shenanigans over there. We are about to announce, I think tonight, the games for February. We do have a community game program, so you could get involved in playing some games with some awesome people. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you next time.